Your appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the ambrosia vaccine, he was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting, is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
I've received reports of armed attacks on shipments. There's not enough vaccine to go around, and the underclasses are starting to get desperate.
Of course they're desperate. They can smell their death, and the sound they'll make rattling their cage will serve as a warning to the rest.
I hope you're not underestimating the problem. The others may not go as quietly as you think. Intelligence indicates they're behind the problems in Paris.
A bunch of pretentious old men playing at running the world. But the world left them behind long ago. We are the future.
We have other problems.
UNATCO?
Formed by executive order after the terrorist strike on the statue. I have someone in place, though. I'm more concerned about Savage. He's relocated to Vandenberg.
Our biochem corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience, and their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas they refuse to consider.
The augmentation project?
Among other things, but I must admit that I have been somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary unit.
The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. My people will continue to report on its progress. If necessary, the primary will be terminated.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon there will be order again. A new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon that city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its kings. Not better than kings. Gods.
Heads up, JC. Your brother Paul is on his way to meet you at the dock. The NSF is raiding the island and shots have been fired. I repeat, find Paul. I will monitor your situation from HQ.
Paul, I thought you were in Hong Kong. Welcome to the Coalition, JC. I might as well start using your code name. Think I'd miss my brother's first day? Didn't think you'd have a choice. What's going on? The NSF. They hit one of our shipments. A few of them got away, but we trapped the rest in the statue. What are we waiting for? Looks like a textbook assault. The NSF took one of our agents hostage. The bots are holding the perimeter, but my orders are to hold back and send you in alone. I think someone high up wants to see how you handle the situation. All I've got with me is a pistol and an electric prod. I don't mind a test, but UNATCO better issue some hardware. Remember that we're police. Stick with the prod. It'll stun your opponents or knock them unconscious. A non-lethal takedown is always the most silent way to eliminate resistance. Just in case, though, Manderley wants you to pick an additional weapon. A sniper rifle, a GEP gun, or a mini crossbow. The crossbow. Sometimes you've got to make a silent takedown. Good thinking. With these tranquilizer darts, you'll have another non-lethal way to take down an enemy in addition to the prod. I get the idea. What's the first move? I'm going to give you a map of the island. If you can get to the North Dock, a UNATCO informant will give you a key to the statue doors. He responds to the code phrase, iron and copper. You could avoid a lot of fighting, though, if you found a back way to the statue. I'll see how it looks on shore. Your primary objective is the makeshift command center the terrorists have installed at the top of the statue. But don't forget about Agent Herman. We think he's being held on the ground floor. What are my orders when I reach the command center? Interrogate the leader. We don't yet know why the terrorists would risk an open assault. You just gonna stay here? There's been some activity at sea. I'm going to watch the coast. Why'd they bring you back to New York? I don't know what they have planned. I messed up an assassination attempt on one of the Triad leaders in Hong Kong. UNATCO pulled you out? It's a long story. You better head to the statue. Which Triad was UNATCO targeting? We'll talk about that later. How was your graduation? I want to hear what happened. I wish I could have come. At the time, I could have cared less that Mom and Dad came to mine, but it was a good thing. The UN threw a dinner in honor of me, the first nano-augmented agent. I didn't know that. Guess I must be old news. Dad made a toast. I don't know if you remember his old brown suit. A toast? That doesn't sound like our father. It was hard for him in front of the diplomats, but he savored every moment. Strange how proud he could be when so much was due to Our augmentations. Yes, he was proud. I believe that much. It was nice to have done something for him and Mom. I wish someone could have been there for you. I'm used to being on my own. One can be too self-sufficient, I'm coming to believe. What's your take on the situation, Corporal?
The bots have them bottled up, sir. We'd go right in if it weren't for the whole back order.
How'd they get one of our agents?
Gunter went rogue on us. When the order came, he wouldn't pull back. Now you get to bail him out.
If you want to make a covert approach, remember the Academy stealth course. Stay out of their field of view, walk slowly to stay quiet, and crouch behind cover. Or if you have to get your hands dirty, remember that a headshot is a lethal takedown.
Bad?
They cut off his arm, replaced half his face.
Herman, right? He's a good soldier. Killed 3 of our men.
They'd have replaced his whole body if it would have improved performance. If that's how you judge a man, by performance, then eventually it's not about people, but upgrades, versions, functionality.
All I know is we could use a few mechs for ops like this.
Soon as we buy into the cult of the machine, we're just like them.
Rhetoric. Always more rhetoric.
It all happened an hour ago. The barge docked and the NSF moved right on in, offloading the cargo into speedboats. Our undercover man, Harley Philbin, should be somewhere out on the docks now.
About time you showed up.
Iron and copper. The statue is copper on an iron frame, right?
Password's enough, pal. Don't think you know something about the lady I don't. My dad did tours out here.
I heard that you can get me inside.
Depends. You get your man out, take back the statue, whatever. But I know the commander and I don't want to see him get hurt. Here's a picture so you don't make a mistake.
You can trust me.
I'll take your word. Here's the key to the front entrance. Commander's not much of a soldier. He'll surrender as soon as he sees you. I need him alive because he's my main contact at the NSF. If he's dead, I don't have much of a business.
Thanks. How do you know so much about the commander?
He's my main contact in the NSF. I need him alive and out on bail.
UNATCO will probably keep him in custody.
At least he has a chance if he's alive. I warned him, you know. I said right to his face, don't take weapons into the lady. That makes you as bad as UNATCO.
Don't forget, it was the NSF that C4'd the statue in the first place. UNATCO's here to put the pieces back together.
Ask me, I think the government did it. They want people to think the NSF are terrorists.
You with Philbin?
I get a cut for bringing him over.
Tell me what you know about the NSF operation.
I'm not that high level. The more elite troops, they're the ones that took over the ship and unloaded it into speedboats. I think we're supposed to be a diversion.
A ship?
That's all I know. The commander gave me a 10mm clip, a box of 30-06 ammo, and some crossbow darts, and said, keep your head down. Like I'm gonna take on your NATCO troops. Want 'em? You can have the clip for 175, the 30-06 for 300, and the darts for 50. But if I was you, I'd avoid a head-on attack altogether and not even use the key Philbin got. I'd go in the statue from the back. Less security that way.
I'll take the 10mm clip for 175.
Put a slug in the commander for me. He's the reason my brother's dead.
Good thinking. You might be able to avoid some of the security by entering this way. This security setup is strictly amateur stuff. Keep an eye out for ways to bypass it. These old pre-millennial buildings are riddled with ventilation shafts and maintenance tunnels. top agents.
Glad you're not hurt, Agent.
Command should not have left us to be surrounded.
Risk is part of the job. I think you lucked out this time.
Agent Navarra and I were ready to go in, but for no reason they said pull back. I do not retreat. Please give me a weapon and move out of the way.
As you wish. Take my knife.
That will be adequate. I will secure this level. You proceed up the stairs to the command center at the top.
Yeah, we got the whole supply. You can see the ship's lights crossing the bay.
Guess y'all were right. So why aren't we pulling out?
Mike's on the horn. Jojo wants a lead on the distribution network.
Yeah, we don't have enough men to protect what we've got.
That's what Jojo wants.
I wonder, how does a guy with a tattooed forehead get to be an NSF colonel? Pardon me, but back in Alabama, we wouldn't let a man who wears earrings plan a military operation.
I'd watch what I say about Jojo. He's got a temper.
He's a punk and he's gonna get us all killed.
The NSF is strong because it represents everyone's interests.
Yeah.
Easy. We want you to take this one alive and conscious. Find out what you can about the shipment, then turn him over to one of the troopers.
Don't shoot. I surrender.
So you think you know better than FEMA what to do with this month's ambrosia shipment?
You're too late. It's on its way back to the people, and you can't do a damn thing about it.
Tell me about the shipment, and I'll order the troops to pick you up as a prisoner instead of a corpse.
Ask away. We already won this round.
Where are you taking it?
We're just giving ordinary people the same chance to survive as the bureaucrats in Washington.
You'll have to unload in New York because the choppers would spot you at sea.
I think the government made the plague on purpose to get rid of the population growth.
Just answer the question.
Don't believe me? It's all in the numbers. For 100 years, there's been a conspiracy of plutocrats against ordinary people.
You have a single fact to back that up.
Number one, in 1945, corporations paid 50% of federal taxes. Now they pay about 5%. Number two, in 1900, 90% of Americans were self-employed. Now it's about 2%.
So?
It's called consolidation. Strengthen governments and corporations, weaken individuals. With taxes, this can be done imperceptibly over time.
I guarantee you that the interrogation staff at UNATCO will not be as forbearing as I am.
Yeah, the secret police. You're just bullies for a completely illegitimate government in Washington.
We will locate that shipment one way or another.
The entire executive branch is handpicked. 19 of the last 23 U.S. presidents have been members of the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission is financed by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. Don't tell me.
That's a think tank. Anyone can become a member.
But not everyone does. That's why they call it the secret government.
Well done. I will pass on your orders to the troopers. Report back to base on the west side of the island. Mission complete.
The chief finally let us loose. We were right behind you and cut through them like a hot knife through butter.
We've got the island secured. How did things look in the statue? The leader surrendered. So they were after Ambrosia. A month's supply for the East Coast. We think they've taken it back to the city. I didn't know UNATCO handled the Ambrosia distribution. Manderley will brief us shortly. UNATCO makes sure the limited supply of vaccine gets to government agencies and key industries. It's good to finally see some action. Yeah, well, pace yourself. You killed a lot of people tonight. I'll handle things out here. You better get to Manderley's office on level 2 and report for duty.
Come on in. The retinal scanner can read blood vessel patterns right through your sunglasses.
Before the briefing, you've got to go to level 3 for your equipment and a medical examination. See Jaime Reyes in the med center and Sam Carter in the armory. Your partner for the next assignment, Anna Navarra, is in the adjoining break room to the east. Maybe you should introduce yourself.
Are you sure you pressed the right button?
I do not make mistakes of that kind.
Your hand might have slipped.
No, I wanted orange. It gave me lemon lime.
The machine would not make a mistake.
It's the maintenance man. He knows I like orange.
So you think the staff has some kind of plot?
Yes, they do that on purpose.
My new partner, J.C. Denton. Don't tell me you're going to wear those sunglasses during a night operation.
My vision is augmented.
At least it is a way that we know when it's not Paul.
Forgive my interruption. I just wanted to say that I look forward to working with you, Agent Navarra. Also, excuse me, I've got to be briefed by Mr. Manderley.
I do not expect you to perform as well as Agent Herman, but the mission will require us to do more than frighten the NSF with our baggy coats that make us look bigger than we really are.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
He will not be the equivalent of his brother. I have seen that he knows the procedure of a good offensive.
Let us hope you are right.
I won't let you down, Agent.
How unprofessional. Expecting a show? Don't think I won't report this.
Hey, JC.
You look like the real thing. They actually let you operate on people?
Just fixed Gunther's knee, in fact. A sticky actuator. So far, I feel more like a mechanic than a doctor.
I'm impressed.
They actually let you point a gun at people.
We'll have to catch up later. I've got to leave for New York right away. Could you send Manderley whatever it is he wants?
No problem. Listen, JC. About your augmentations. You know they're preparing to roll out the technology worldwide, right?
As long as I don't turn green and grow a pair of antennas, as I understand it.
Yeah, well, the design's pretty modular, which means you'll soon have access to upgrades from standard augmentation canisters.
I think I picked one of those up at the top of the statue.
Maybe you did. My order from Versalite was on the ship the NSF captured. You'll need to take it to one of the medbas for installation.
I'll do that.
The canisters contain a colloid of ROM modules. Some are generic upgrades, others require you to make permanent choices about how to configure one of your subsystems.
It's about time they implemented some of this stuff. One more thing before I go, since you've been briefed on my augmentations. What can you tell me about the info link?
Let's see, micro-receiver exostructure in the sulci, mechanocarbon threads on the axons. For queuing, you know, packet routing. Anything particularly interest you?
Is there a way to turn it off?
The info link?
Yeah, or is someone at UNATCO tuned in 24 hours?
These might sound a little funny, JC, but I'm not permitted to answer that question.
Your clearance is higher than mine?
Regarding your systems, I am your physician.
No big deal. I was just curious.
At ease, Agent.
General Carter, I read about the Merced operation in school. This is a great honor.
I'm not a general anymore. Just call me Carter.
I can't believe what the NSF did to your family.
Enough of that, soldier. We each have our troubles. I lost my children, but you had to grow up without your parents. Which requires more courage? I think it matters.
My parents died in a car accident. That's different.
I said that's enough. You have your own hop and time is short. How about I issue you a stealth pistol?
That sounds fine. Thank you, sir.
What else do you think you'll need?
Just give me ammo.
Commander means business. Yeah? Now move out. Manderley's waiting.
Hey, what about that guy out front selling munitions? Is that allowed?
Oh, Captain, right. We've got some screwballs around here, but he's not the problem. It's whoever's been breaking into the armor.
Someone at UNATCO's a thief?
Yes, sir. Damn
good. You're getting warm. You're red hot. Looks like you found me.
Like leading a mouse to cheese.
This thing is starting to give me a headache.
Don't worry, we shut it down when you go off duty.
I guess I'll get used to it.
I'm Alex Jacobson, communications engineer.
I suppose you already know who I am.
Getting there. You're certainly quicker on the uptake than your brother Paul ever was.
Thanks.
Good work out there, Mr. Denton. Mr. Manderley said you handled yourself nicely. Welcome to UNATCO HQ. Our little family keeps getting bigger.
Is Mr. Manderley available?
Yes, go right in. By the way, your computer account is ready. Log in JCD, password Bionic Man.
That will be JC's job.
What's that? Power station. The NSF have Ambrosia in a warehouse protected by cameras and booby traps. We want to power down the whole system.
We're taking one illicit generating plant, protected by weak groups of NSF. Knock out that plant, and Paul's team can walk right into the warehouse.
Just tell me where it is. The NSF are openly resisting our deployed forces, gradually falling back. You'll have to deal with them first.
And you be ready, Paul. When the power drops, go in and go in hard.
I'll use my discretion.
Go in like the U.S. Marshals. We lose the vaccine, I'm sending your butt to the mayor to explain why he and his 3 daughters won't get their pills this month.
Yes, sir. Let's not waste any time, JC. Get down to the dock. A boat is waiting to take you and your partner, Anna Navarro, to shore.
Yes, get moving. Here's your op bonus for the great job you did in the statue, plus 250 for rescuing Agent Herman. That's 1,250. We take care of our people around here.
Thank you, sir.
By the way, Denton, stay out of the ladies' restroom. That kind of activity embarrasses the agency more than it does you.
All right, let's go. The terrorists are in a fighting retreat. A few have barricaded themselves inside Castle Clinton.
Lead the way.
Our orders are to locate a barrel of ambrosia they are hiding inside. I will give you a schematic of the barrel, but first we will exterminate the NSF terrorists.
Exterminate?
A precious opportunity we cannot neglect.
What about the rest of the shipment?
That is your brother's assignment. You will take the subway to meet him in Hill's Kitchen. But first, we should deal with Castle Clinton.
Are we going in the front, or is there another way?
A secondary entrance would be useful, but I am aware of no such thing.
I'm starving. Do you have anything to eat?
All I have is a candy bar.
Don't matter. I just need something in my stomach so I can fall asleep.
Here you go. Do you have a place to stay?
I sleep out on the dock where they unload the speedboats.
Speedboats? Is that how the NSF get their supplies?
I don't know. They're always coming in and out of the tunnel behind the soda machine.
Interesting.
I spy on them from the crates. The code is 9183.
Clever boy.
Thanks for the snack, mister.
It's the least I could do.
Looks like these tunnels head toward Castle Clinton. I can't find them on the map, though. Objective complete. Agent Navarre will describe your next assignment and stay behind to protect the Ambrosia. Look for her out front.
You were too gentle with the NSF, but I cannot complain. You completed the objective. At least you are not a coward like Paul.
You Max might have copper wiring to reroute your fear of pain, but I've got nerves of steel.
You are not a mech. You do not know what it is like.
What's it like to stand around revving your actuators while the more advanced units complete the mission? No thanks.
It was my error to believe that UNATCO's superweapon would appreciate the chance to prove himself.
Just give me the next objective.
How dare I delay your search for glory? The NSF in the subway station have taken hostages. Free them, but you know our standing orders. We do not make deals. Use this EMP grenade to disable the electronic detonators of the booby traps. Now we will see who is made of steel.
I can take out a booby trap.
so.
Why were the NSF holding the station?
They were pulling out. Most of them got on the train and went up north.
Were they transporting any heavy supplies? Barrels?
Not that I saw, but I heard them talking about a warehouse. How they needed every precious second to move some kind of shipment.
Precious indeed. They just gave up a half a dozen lives for a couple of minutes.
I'll be okay, thanks.
What's the situation here? You're taking over. I've got to get my team ready to raid the warehouse. What about the EMP field? Still in place. Your primary objective will be to locate and disable its power source. Probably an industrial-sized generator in a large building. I'll question some of the locals. I ordered the civilians to take cover a block south of here in the Free Clinic and at the Underworld Tavern, down on the corner. Maybe I'll start with the tavern. Why'd you have to clear the street? There's still a heavy NSF presence in the streets, and we're taking some fire. We could use your help if you get the chance. Maybe I'll do that. If you need any extra equipment, here's the key to my place at the Tun Hotel. Check the secret closet. Remember? The keypad's behind the painting. Just like the movies. Second floor, right? Yeah, and take a charger for the riot prod. We don't need another Anna Navarra shooting spree. Whatever you say. And JC, we'll be waiting for you to take down that EMP field.
Denton. Hey, it's Denton.
You want these?
What?
Give him the grenades.
Look, I know he's your brother, but...
Your brother gave us these things. Look at this. Irritation to all exposed mucous membranes. What's that gonna do?
Just tell Paul to give us bullets next time.
Here's one. Prolonged exposure can damage the bronchial pathways. Prolonged exposure? It's like giving them cigarettes or something.
Look, do you want these things?
Sure. Hand them over.
Here you go, with my compliments. Good luck. What's your business here, Agent?
Just going up to my brother's room.
You better hold off. The NSF retreated in there about half an hour ago, and they've taken hostages. We're waiting on a specialist.
I'm your specialist. Just tell me where the hostages are being held.
No one's standing in your way, but you'll have to go in alone. Our orders are to hold the perimeter. We think the terrorists are on the second floor.
Carry on, Corporal.
Agent?
That's him. He's a cop.
You all right, Mr. Renton?
Fine. Be careful, though. They've got more hostages up on the second floor.
I'll check it out. How's your daughter? She somewhere safe?
I don't know. She's been gone all week. I try not to think about it.
Tonight's a bad night to be on the streets. I'll take a look around.
Hey, if you see Sandra, tell her I don't care. I don't care what she's been doing. She can come home. No questions, no speeches.
Sure.
Thanks for taking care of those guys. You from the police?
UNATCO.
Yeah? Well, you might be interested. I heard them talking. They said something about how they had just put in a generator in a warehouse a few streets south of here.
Did you catch the name of the street?
No, but they were talking about their security setup.
Anything interesting?
It sounded like there was underground access. They're using the word righteous as some kind of password.
That's very helpful. Thanks. You all right, Mr. Renton?
Fine, I think that's all of them. You got the guys upstairs, right?
Yeah. How's your daughter? Is she somewhere safe?
I don't know. She's been gone all week. I try not to think about it.
Tonight's a bad night to be on the streets. I'll take a look around.
Hey, if you see Sandra, tell her I don't care. I don't care what she's been doing. She can come home. No questions, no speeches.
Sure. There were a couple of NSF on the second floor. I took care of the situation.
What about the hostages?
Doing fine. You guys can relax.
Guess we didn't need that specialist after all.
What I'm telling you, girl.
You said I didn't have to. Make Janie do it.
I already took the money. And when it's JoJo and it's something he wants, you gotta do it. You and me both, baby. We helpless.
We were just gonna hang out today.
I told you, Howard, don't play with me this amateur, unprofessional bullshit.
Johnny.
If it's business, it's business. If it's us two hanging out, then we hang out. Right now, it's business. What you want?
You've got 10 seconds to beat it before I add you to the list of NSF casualties.
Easy, bro. Just having us a conversation.
5 seconds.
Girl's got a head full of marbles. I have to yell. But she don't hear me.
3.
She skitches on me. It's my ass, man.
1.
All right. I'm going. Jesus.
Thanks.
Sucks to get backed into a corner.
I was trying to find the back way into Smugglers.
Smuggler?
Hey, you shouldn't have threatened Johnny. Soon as JoJo finds out.
Your father asked me to look for you. He'd like you to come home.
My dad shouldn't have hired a hitman. Stupid way to get himself killed.
Who's this JoJo?
You can't touch JoJo. He doesn't go out and there's only 2 ways to the warehouse.
Warehouse?
You think he can sneak into Osgood's at the park, but in the first place, it's locked.
Looks like the fighting in the park has died down.
And if you go underground, he's got laser tripwires, drone guns, military-type stuff, plus there are guards on the roof.
Tell you what, I'll handle JoJo. You get home so your father won't have to worry.
I can take care of myself.
Buy ambrosia from a drug dealer?
We're talking about your wife, the Grey Death.
I don't know. If I gave it to her, and it was cut...
JoJo's good for it. People know him. He'd be hanging from a streetlight if he was selling bad vaccine. Hey, Shay, Cape Cod. Here's a little vodka this time.
Yes?
Just curious. I thought I heard you say ambrosia.
My wife has the plague.
He already lost his daughter.
Sorry to hear that.
So do I trust some street punk called JoJo to get me pharmaceuticals? Trust him with my wife's life?
I thought ambrosia was an urban legend.
JoJo probably just wants to sound like a player. I shouldn't get my hopes up.
I don't know what to say. You just have to do what you think is right. Can I ask a question?
Go right ahead.
I'm looking around for a power generator, possibly hidden, large enough to power a building.
You in real estate?
I just need to find it.
Oh, of course. You know, I tied in power at a place a few blocks south. A warehouse. Strangest thing. They wanted to conceal these gas-driven generators on the second floor. Didn't give a hoot if their own people got asphyxiated.
How do I get over there?
No way through the blockades now. We went over some rooftops to get there. There was a lift. The code was 3316, I think.
Thanks for the tip.
What can I get you?
You work here. You must know the area. Heard of an old warehouse with an illegal power generator?
Not exactly, but if you're looking for a warehouse, you should probably start in the warehouse district.
Where's that?
A few blocks south. Not a bad walk, but the riot police have blocked the roads because of the NSF.
I'd like to check it out.
Well, you may be out of luck. Even though one of the old warehouses faces onto the park, I don't know how you'd get inside.
Sounds like a good place to start.
Something to drink? Everything in the bar, snacks too, just 10 credits.
Sure.
What'll it be?
Beer, please.
There you go.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Hey, you look like the vigilante type. What if I said I knew where you could load up on military hardware?
Where's that?
That's valuable information. You'll have to come up with some kind of payment. How about liquor?
You can have this beer.
That'll do. His name's Smuggler. Real paranoid nut. Wires himself in with booby traps, but he knows things. There's stuff in the sewers that only Smuggler knows about.
Thanks. Maybe I'll pay him a visit.
Now I'll tell you something you can't hear from anybody but me.
What's that?
Area 51. You heard of it, right?
Actually, I'd rather hear whether you know anything about a warehouse with an illicit generator.
I worked out there. Most people think they got aliens from another planet, but I didn't see any flying saucers. You want to hear about it? I'll tell you. For the price of a beer.
You can have this beer.
I appreciate it. Yep, I know for a fact it's not just for government research. I've seen all kinds of executives coming and going.
I'm sure plenty of bureaucrats fly out there.
Billionaires. Big executives. I think the whole place has been taken over by a private corporation.
Not likely.
Something's going on underground. I'm a pilot, which means I didn't get any access to the main complex. But a lot of rock comes out of there. It's some kind of mine. But what I don't understand is why they're always laying more fiber optic cables.
A pilot? What do you fly?
Copters. You know what I think? I think that's where the UN moved Echelon 4 back when they promised they were going to stop spying on people.
Surveillance is a very distributed technology. To centralize it in one large facility would be very unusual, even for the UN.
I bet they did it. They want to centralize everything. Every computer on the planet.
You the guy that helped Sandra?
I think your friend is going to be all right.
What about Johnny?
I gave him a good scare.
Where's he at?
I don't know, but if he gives you any more trouble, just tell me.
I hope he doesn't think I ratted him out.
What can you tell me about his boss, Jojo?
Oh, Jojo, he's nothing, man. We used to go out. His body mods? Cosmetic. Scars? I saw him cut his face one time just so he'd look mean.
Maybe I'll straighten him out as well.
Well, if you ever want to get into the warehouse where he hides out, I know the code. It's 3316.
Thanks. You've been very helpful. You could at least let your father know you're all right.
He knows where I am.
You mad at him or something?
No, but I don't want him running my life like he runs that cheap hotel.
He doesn't do such a bad job.
He never got nowhere because he never took chances. That ain't me. I'm gonna do things my way.
I think you should be more grateful for what he's done. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Earlier you said something about the smuggler.
Tough guy like you? Figured you'd be a big customer. He's got a basement place over near the subway entrance. You have to give him the password Bloodshot or he won't let you in.
Joe Green, Midnight Sun, glad to know you. What can you tell me about what's going on out there?
Sorry, regulations prevent me from talking to the press.
Regulations, huh? So you are part of the crackdown.
Like I said, I have nothing to say.
Too stylish for the National Guard? Too athletic for NYPD? You must be from UNATCO.
I really can't be bothered right now. How about I ask you a few questions?
Splendid! I certainly would like to know what an international anti-terrorist organization expects to find in a dive like this.
Heard anything about a secret NSF power generator?
Aha. Playing the detective, are we? I take it you've been assigned to eliminate certain weapons systems. Defenses, maybe? Am I getting warm?
Just answer the question.
Let me be more pointed. How does it feel to be ordered to murder civilians just because they support the fastest-growing political movement in this nation's history?
In a democracy, armed rebellion is criminal, not political.
Rebellion, as the Declaration of Independence tells us, is not only our right, but our duty when we have suffered a long train of abuses and usurpations.
Yes. Password? Bloodshot.
What do you want?
Why the booby traps? Afraid of something?
Just precautions.
Against what?
Government's been having some kind of crackdown all year. People I know, they've been disappearing.
Is that so?
Think it's a big joke? Lift up a grate in the street. They got my friend Ford Schick in a secret lab next to the sewers.
A lab? In the sewers? Maybe he was taken hostage by the NSF.
These guys are pros. Definitely government funded.
Interesting. Maybe I'll take a look, but I think you should have a little more regard for the United States government.
If you're serious about going down there and finding Ford, I'll give you a deal on some hardware. Also, you'll need this. It's the key that can open the sewer manholes.
Tell me about the hardware.
I have a scope that will fit most handguns and rifles for 2,200 credits, a bioelectric cell for 800, and some light amplification goggles for 3,500.
I'll give you 2,100 for the scope.
Deal.
That's him. Watch yourself. This way.
This area is an old water treatment facility. I wonder what all these paramilitary types are doing down here. But considering what the smuggler said, I would imagine this is where they're holding his friend, Ford Schick.
You must be Ford Schick.
Who are you?
Smuggler sent me. Who's holding you here? I don't recognize the uniforms of the soldiers.
I don't know. They're private security for a biotech company or something. They had me doing antibody work.
Corporate security isn't usually outfitted to fight a ground war.
They're doing experiments on people. They don't want anybody finding out.
Make a break for it. I'll protect you.
Here I go.
Got your friend out.
Ford, is he all right?
Fine. You were right about those troops. Definitely not NSF.
They're the CIA. They capture people and use them for medical experiments.
I wouldn't go that far. You said you'd make it worth my while.
Since you helped Ford, I'll cut you a deal. I'll give you a scope that will fit most handguns and rifles for 700 credits, a bioelectric cell for 250, or some light amplification goggles for 1125.
Here's 250 for the bioelectric cell.
Deal.
See you later.
Hey, and thanks again for finding Ford.
No problem.
Just died at the NSF headquarters. Now it's up to Paul. Go to the roof. A chopper is arriving with Agent Herman on board. He will lock down the warehouse while you take the chopper back to HQ.
Mandoli has assigned me the peacekeeping occupation of this district.
I took care of the generator. How's the raid going?
They should have sent Agent Navarre. Your brother is timid like a child.
Did something go wrong?
You do not need to hear anything from me. Take the helicopter back to base. I am sure Mandalay has planned a debriefing for the top agents.
Last boarding call, UNATCO HQ.
Hey, you're the guy I talked to at the Underworld bar, right? The one asking for beer.
You don't want to fly one of these birds all wound up. They have a temperament, especially in a crosswind.
Let's go.
Welcome back. Your mission was a success. Just about the only bright side of the operation, unfortunately. Report to Manderley for a briefing.
Mr. Deck.
Yeah?
The prisoners on level 3 are a sensitive matter. Leave the interrogations to Mr. Simons. You are authorized to receive your orders from Joseph Manderley, after which you will return to the helipad.
Simons. You guys from DC? What agency?
Please proceed to Manderley's office. We will expect to see you shortly.
Manderley said he's busy, but to wait outside his office.
I was here first. Mr. Manderley is in a meeting, JC. You'll have to wait.
I was told to report for a debriefing.
A debriefing. Do not worry, we are satisfied. But I will mention in my report that you mistake yourself for a man of steel.
Just fire the arrogant son of a bitch.
I wasn't exaggerating. He's our best agent.
We don't need him. We've got his brother, and more are on the way.
He knows nothing.
I think he does. You should never have sent him to Hong Kong.
Let's be sensible. We have to look at the whole record.
Look, I understand. It was your pet project, but it's out of my hands. Now that the shipment's been lost.
I know. I will comply with the order.
That's all I ask. Carry on.
I'm going downstairs to interrogate the prisoners.
Agent Denton, at your service.
Denton. Yes, I hear you're turning out to be quite an asset to the Coalition.
Doing my best, sir. Forgive me, but I do not believe I know your name.
We aren't ready for an introduction yet. No, it's not time. Just keep your nose to the pavement. You'll be well rewarded. Trust me. I have one question.
They already asked. I don't know.
One must admire a man who can keep a secret because he has value. What you know more than others makes money and gives you a measure of power.
You Walton Simons? You think I could be bribed?
Margaret Forsyth under NSF protection in Queens. Your son Richard attending Bronx Science. You see, I have a few relevant facts myself. Care to make a trade?
You wouldn't dare.
I'll give you 2 seconds to decide. Get out of here, Denton. This is none of your business. Time's up. Where is the NSF taking the ambrosia?
They asked me already. I don't know.
Need I remind you that in the case of a national emergency, FEMA has a list of 6 million Americans who will be transported to detention centers? Your tabloids call it RX-84.
Yeah, including the President, Congress, and the Supreme Court.
In my position, I find it very easy to add names to that list.
Go to hell. The United States government has had emergency powers since World War II. We've never left a state of war.
Speak for yourself. The federal government is just responding to a threat.
The government should be about more than self-perpetuation.
You will confess, by the way. I don't like to dirty my hands with that sort of thing, but you will confess. Certain intellectual properties, aside from the quantities of vaccine, concern me deeply. Has the NSF made any attempt at reverse engineering?
Leave me alone.
If you wanted to save people, you could have unloaded the whole shipment in Manhattan, or the airlift.
You said it yourself. Secrets are power.
We have less civilized ways of making you talk. I am a patient man.
Ask me if I care.
But not that patient.
Hello, JC. Come in. Clerical task first. Your op bonus is split between the Castle Clinton and warehouse objectives, 500 each. You get the full 1,000 plus 200 for how you handle the hostage situation in the Battery Park subway station. Good work across the board.
Thank you, sir. Who is that you were meeting with?
Politics, bureaucracy, mismanagement. JC, I've got some bad news. The mission failed.
I would have taken out that JoJo punk, but he wasn't even in the warehouse.
Never mind that. He slipped out before you even got to New York.
What about the shipment?
I'm just going to say it straight, JC. Your brother screwed up. We got nothing, and he's taking the heat this time. The Coalition is letting him go.
What went wrong?
We don't know. He hasn't reported back. The rest of the strike force says he lost his nerve.
I think he was trying to avoid casualties. In Hell's Kitchen, instead of clips for the troops, he was issuing tear gas.
Whatever the case, now it's your turn. We've got one more chance to retake that shipment.
Has it been located?
Get any equipment you need from Carter, then take the chopper back to the city. We know they plan to put the ambrosia on a plane, but we don't know which airfield.
Where should I start?
If I were the NSF, I'd be moving it through the subways, the abandoned parts of the infrastructure.
I'll check out the subways.
And stay away from the press this time, especially the tabloids. Do I need to quote the manual? Secrets are lives?
Yes, sir. Looks pretty bad down here.
Keeps getting worse, too. It must be raining bullets out there.
The NSF aren't kidding around. How you holding up?
Fine. I lost one of the privates because a refrigeration unit went down. That's always hard.
You've got a lot on your hands. Don't beat yourself up over faulty equipment.
Agent Denton, marvelous. In addition to an accuracy weapon modification, I've got a couple of multi-tools.
Mr. Carter, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
I'm getting the impression that UNATCO is focused more on military operations than law enforcement.
The focus has shifted. I agree.
The only way Anna would have been satisfied is if I'd executed every terrorist in Castle Clinton. Standing order seems to be shoot to kill.
Direct intervention is always part of the game. In my day, we were just more civilized about it.
Civilized. That's the word. I guess I was expecting a little more class from the world's anti-terrorist organization.
We just have to strike a balance. Why don't I throw in an extra clip with those multi-tools? I trust you will be able to judge when one or the other is appropriate for achieving mission objectives.
Your chopper's ready, Agent.
Get on the helicopter, Mr. Denton. Simons did not appreciate your interference. Please do not keep us waiting.
I think the suits are putting a squeeze on me.
Let's go.
We lost the battle today. I admit it. Yes, Lord.
You with the NSF?
Had myself a division, mind you, back when we were the Northwest Secessionist Forces. Years ago. They thought they had us licked. Like they think they have us licked tonight. But look at me, young sir. We're God's army. And what infernal devil can stop God's army?
Well, you take care of yourself.
Found me 2 30-06 clips. Now all I need's a gun, and then it's me and Satan. Yes, Satan. One last look into the devil's red eyes.
Sounds like you served God admirably in the Northwest War. But maybe you should let a soldier from the younger generation take the clips off your hands. What do you want for them?
Huh? You mean money? You want to buy them? Well, guess I'd take about 300 for each one.
I'll take both of them for 600.
Praise heaven.
Thanks again for the key.
It wasn't a favor. I was well paid.
A real patriot.
I see it like this. It all balances out. UNATCO's just as much gun freaks as the militias. If everybody's gonna shoot it out, fine, so long as neither side wins and takes over the whole country.
The goal of UNATCO is not conquest. It's the safety of ordinary people like yourself.
I know an army when I see one. Look, I'll be blunt. You got any cash? There's a secret passage behind that phone booth over there. For 500, I'll tell you where to get the code.
Sure. 500 for where I can find the code to the phone booth.
Talk to Curly in the shantytown at Battery Park. He's from the Mole People settlement. You have to give him the password Underworld.
The NSF are allied with the Mole People?
They both hate the feds, but that's it. The Moles don't want a war. They just want to be left alone in the tunnels.
Aiding and sympathizing. Just as bad as being a terrorist yourself, in my opinion.
I doubt the NSF gave him much choice.
Oh, thank you again. My hands get so cold.
Yeah, like I said, we'll probably both get kicked out when whoever it is gets back. I live underground.
All the same.
You Curly?
Yeah, what do you want?
I heard you have the code to the phone booth in the subway.
You want to go down to the Brooklyn Bridge Station? That's near the Mole People settlement. You need the Mole password.
Why the name Mole People?
They call us that because we live underground. Like they're some kind of superior beings or something because they got more money than we do.
Underworld is the password.
Why didn't you say so? The phone code's MOLE. That's 6653.
Thanks.
When you get to the Brooklyn Bridge Station, talk to Charlie. He'll get you into the tunnels where we live.
After the quakes, the homeless drifted down here. Junkies, runaways, grifters. There's a DSS file a mile long on this place. Some of them, the so-called Mole People, have permanent living quarters in an adjacent tunnel system not on my map.
Hey, man, you got any Zyme?
Take a vial.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Now maybe you can calm down for a second and tell me how to get to the Mole People hideout.
Yeah, sure. They're in the tunnels.
And?
The keypad's under the sink, in the woman's bathroom. Everybody knows that.
The code?
Got me. The Mole People keep me out because they don't like Zyme.
What you need, bro? Vials are $250.
Know where I can find the Mole People?
Good neighbors keep each other's business private.
You want to set a price?
I'm a good neighbor. You want to buy something or not?
I'm with you, Natco. Start talking.
I ain't going back to jail.
Let's try some word association. First word, ambrosia.
Bitch, I ain't going back to jail.
I hear the NSF are using the Mole People hideout as a base.
Are you the feds? We don't need a war down here.
I work for UNATCO.
Well, the NSF come through here, but they don't bother us. If we need help with anything, it's our plumbing. We lost pressure because of the explosions on South Street.
Tough break. You tell me about the NSF, and I'll put in a word with the city about the water.
The city don't know we got water, and they don't need to know. How about you fix it, and then I'll talk?
I don't have much time.
I would open the valve myself, but there was a cave-in. The utility door's blocked. It's up at the north end of the tracks, in case you want to take a look.
Clearing a tunnel. That would require explosives.
It could be done. A lamb would do the trick. It's just that I'm not gonna be the one to talk to the rooks. They'd probably sell us one, but they don't like people going into their turf, which is the whole upper level.
Hold up, bro.
What is it?
You on Rook's territory now. Just so you know.
You call yourselves Rooks?
That's right. Up here, it's business. You want to do business? Talk to El Rey.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hey, bro, what's with the get-up?
Charlie says you sell explosives.
Yeah? Charlie should mind his own business.
How much?
Whoa, 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 whoa. We ain't talking firecrackers, understand? What I got, it comes from a guy at UNATCO. Hardcore munitions and shit.
How much?
I got a lamb. You know what that is? $750.
Pretty steep for second-hand goods.
Either that or you work for it. You into fighting? I need someone to take care of the dealer downstairs.
Already dead.
Yeah? You killed him?
Just another parasite.
Hot damn. That guy you just killed? He's been in my way for months. Now I got the whole station. You can have the lamb. Now I can afford me a Gep gun.
The water line should be open now.
Good. Glad to see you UNATCO boys do something for the community.
Now can you tell me about the NSF?
The NSF? Yeah, they took over our tunnels.
How do I get there?
Go to the women's restroom on the other side of the station. Look for a keypad under the sink. Combination's 5482.
Great. I'm glad I can help you out. Looks like you've been overrun by NSF.
They move supplies through here. There's nothing we can do about it.
Anything recently?
A bunch of barrels came through about an hour ago. Woke us all up.
Where were they headed?
They went through the bathroom like they always do. Only way to get a key is from the NSF commander. The guy lives to the south. But I bet he'd die first.
Some of the terrorists actually live down here?
It's a secret room. You open the door by pushing a brick. They keep hidden behind some cardboard boxes.
I'll have a talk with him. You won't have to worry about the NSF for much longer.
I surrender.
The Mole people say the ambrosia came through here an hour ago.
I'll cooperate. Relax. Key to the men's restroom is on the table.
This better not be a joke.
Hey, I'm just an accountant. I know the body armor looks threatening, but I'm part-time, like a reservist. I don't want any trouble.
The panel's secured.
Good. The booby traps?
Installed. They really think he'll make it this far?
Paul said not to take any chances.
Well, I guess he would know.
Don't shoot!
I surrender!
These sewage tunnels look like they come out somewhere by the airfield. Be careful, though. The terrorists probably expect intruders. You're entering a helibase terminal below a private section of LaGuardia. Veer to the east. You should be able to take the elevator to ground level. If you hit trouble, double back across the platform. There's a sewer drain to the northwest which leads to a pond next to the airfield. We think we might know who's moving the shipment. More in a minute.
I could swear I heard something.
That's him. He's a cop.
Huh? Take him out.
This is the terminal at LaGuardia owned by Juan Ivanovich Lebedev. We're certain based on what you've discovered that he's working with terrorists. Your orders are to locate and kill him. We're sending you a map of the airfield.
That's him. He's a cop.
Relax, JC. I told the troops to stand down. That's right. I'm working for the NSF. I'll meet you at the 747. Excellent work. I underestimated your abilities. You work for the NSF? Listen to what I've got to say. We don't have much time. You got that right. UNATCO will have a team here in a few minutes. The Great Death is a man-made virus. Everyone up to the President is at UNATCO's mercy as long as UNATCO controls the supply of ambrosia. You believe that? We have proof. We need to get the ambrosia to Hong Kong. Heard of Tracer Tong? He can help us synthesize it ourselves. You better step away from the jet. Your boss is my next objective. Join us, JC. Talk to Lebedev. He can convince you. Get on the plane. We're almost ready to go. Blackmail of the U.S. government could not possibly escape the notice of the United Nations. Don't be so quick to trust the UN. Are you kidding? The UN's about the only chance we've got these days if the US spirals into another civil war. A pretext, nothing more. The whole project of world government, going back to the League of Nations, has been funded and manipulated mainly by wealthy bankers. Is that so? Remember that the UN itself was built on land donated by John D. Rockefeller. Get on board. A UNATCO security squad will be here any minute.
I surrender.
What?
Easy now, Agent. UNATCO has a policy against killing unarmed prisoners. We have much to learn from each other.
We're assuming control of the airfield. The vaccine will be returned to the international authorities.
Don't you want to hear why your brother came over to our side?
He makes his own decisions.
You know he wouldn't betray UNATCO without a reason.
Good work. Now finish the job. That should be easy for a man who has nerves of steel.
He surrendered. He's an unarmed prisoner. UNATCO policy protects him.
Terminate the prisoner, Agent. If you are too afraid, you are ordered to return to base on Manderley's authority. There is a helicopter waiting.
If you know something, just tell me.
The question you've got to ask, I'm surprised you haven't, is the obvious one. Who am I? Who made me, and for what purpose?
UNATCO has briefed me on my augmentations. Get to the point.
Return to base, Agent Denton. I will handle this.
Your parents were murdered precisely because they could have told you the correct answer to that question.
That's a pretty big claim.
You didn't have parents. The ones you knew were employees. You were made by a cabal of technophiles so crazed for power that they would control not only governments and people, but the chemistry of our bodies as well.
Leave us, Agent. Now.
Sounds like a picture-perfect description of the NSF.
Think bigger, Agent. Think global.
You have disobeyed a direct order.
Do you think it's an accident that the cure for the global plague is owned by a single corporation, and that it's kept so secret that only the tabloids dare print a story suggesting it exists?
The supply is limited. That doesn't mean there's a conspiracy.
But where does that corporation manufacture the cure? And where did your brother uncover the information that brought him over to our side?
Go on.
I can tell by the expression on your friend's face that she knows where I'm heading. UNATCO is completely correct to think that Tracer Tong will soon understand Ambrosia. He was the one who was going to receive the shipment.
Why tell me all this?
I've said nothing that UNATCO won't find on this plane's computer. But here's the secret. This is what Paul was so interested to hear from Tracer Tong.
Manderley will be disappointed in your insubordination. That is what happens to a prisoner who tries to escape. Go to the helicopter now, Agent Denton. It is waiting at the airfield.
Manderley has assigned me the peacekeeping occupation of the airport.
Standard procedure, it appears. I'm sure we can count on you.
I want to be the one to execute Lebedev.
Some bad news. Agent Navarra beat you to it.
Yes, of course. I will congratulate her.
Hey, about my brother.
A shame that we have to track down and kill one of our most advanced agents. At least we have one of you left.
Don't you think we should give Paul a chance to explain himself? He's been with UNATCO for years.
Only one thing can happen when you break your oath to the Coalition.
Gunter told me about Paul.
It's true. Paul's been working for the NSF.
This is gonna shake up the Coalition, JC. I don't know if you realized how important your brother was.
Coalition will recover. I'm not so worried about the Coalition.
UN officials will probably get involved. You'll have to keep your head down if you're gonna come through this in one piece. Sure you're ready to head back to base?
I'm ready. Let's move out.
Get in.
Manderley wants you to stop by his office. Don't sweat it if he chews you out. I think you made the right decision by not killing Lebedev.
Manderley's blowing his top. You better go see him on the double.
I can't believe it, JC. What got into Paul?
I guess he got a better offer.
What a blow. I don't know how we'll recover. It's almost like losing a son.
I don't understand it myself, but we've got to go on. Is Manderley available?
Go right in, JC. He has a lot to discuss. Incidentally, I haven't been able to reach Jaime. If you cross paths, could you mention that Walton Simons is looking for him? I'm guessing he's in the break room.
I'll let him know.
All right, Denton. What the hell happened? You were under direct orders. My orders.
Sorry about not killing Lebedev. He seemed worth interrogating.
We don't give you enough information to make a call like that.
I guess that means I don't get the op bonus.
You can turn in your weapons right now if you're going to be a smartass.
I risked my life and I recovered the Ambrosia. I deserve compensation.
We don't have time for trifles. Whatever, take it. But it will be the last one. Clearly monetary incentives don't work with you and Paul.
I try to do the best job I can.
Just shut up and listen for a second. Christ, JC, this kind of behavior, not to mention your brother's defection, is making certain powerful people very nervous. Nervous about you. You understand the importance of loyalty, don't you?
Yes, but...
Well, that's what seems to be missing in you and your brother. Brace yourself for an ugly lesson, JC. Coalition has shut down Paul's augmentations and has activated the kill switch.
Activated what?
He's our enemy now. He's gone, JC. The Coalition wants you to understand that he's just another terrorist, like the ones that have died by your very hand this evening.
Can they really kill him? With the press of a button?
Yes, and you too. So take these orders seriously. They're sending you to Hong Kong.
What about Paul? Will I get to see him again?
Please, just get your equipment and meet our pilot Jock at the helipad. You'll need to take out a man called Tracer Tong, Paul's contact in Hong Kong. Prove that they can trust you. JC?
Yes.
It's critical that they trust you.
What kind of thing?
Behind the eyes, a sharp burning, almost electrical.
How's your bioelectric leg?
It's always at 100%. I like to stay prepared.
That's probably it right there. Free radicals. You should charge your systems only when they've been significantly drained.
I wasn't informed of that.
It's a lot like an electric razor. If you leave it plugged in all the time, the battery loses its 0 point. Just watch your levels.
Interesting. Thanks, Doctor.
Let me know how it goes.
Guess you guys found each other. Get everybody patched up?
I did my best. You're looking good.
Never felt better.
They just dropped off a few liters of the ambrosia you recovered, by the way.
Good work out there, Denton. I want you to know, we will not let your brother's activity cast its shadow on you.
Yes, sir. I'm grateful for that. I just wish we'd found out sooner.
No harm done. We have you to take his place.
Is a few liters going to be enough?
Well, no one on staff's gonna catch Grey Death this month.
Paul said UNATCO uses the ambrosia supply to influence national governments. What do you think about that?
So it's true. He went over to the NSF.
He makes some sense. I ignored the mission objective of killing his boss, Juan Lebedev, but Agent Navarra intervened.
What did Mandalay say?
He boxed my ears. No big deal.
I'm surprised he didn't fire you on the spot.
He gave me one more chance. I'm on my way to Hong Kong.
Good. Maybe you'll find out what's got into Paul.
I saw you listening in. Yes, it's true. I have augmentations like yours.
Don't you work down in Washington?
Actually, I'm the director of FEMA.
Sounds like you wouldn't have much use for physical augmentations.
You underestimate the demands of my work. We deal with every sort of natural and unnatural disaster you can imagine.
But you're the director. You work behind a desk.
Am I behind a desk right now? No, I'm not. That's because we have a situation here in New York. I got to my position because I can fix things. You will see shortly, because as you have probably noticed yourself, this agency is broken and needs an overhaul.
What do you mean by overhaul?
You will receive a memo in a few days. I am still collecting data.
UNATCO was very effective this evening. We recaptured the shipment.
You don't have to worry, Agent. It's the softer elements I am after.
Like who?
You're beginning to exceed your clearance. What are you? Angel OA?
Excuse my persistence. I'll wait for the memo.
Good. Carry on.
A lot of surprises this time. Paul, a terrorist. Wow.
He got me to disobey orders. I don't know what to think anymore.
I wonder what it is he found out. Why he'd defect.
He thinks he has proof of a conspiracy.
Wild stuff, huh? I'd like to hear what he has to say. If you hear from him, or if you find out where he is, don't worry about the info link. I'll erase the archives.
You think he's right?
Worth hearing him out. I've never known Paul to make a mistake.
How are you holding up?
Not so good. I don't know who to trust anymore.
No one blames you about Lebanon. You refused an order to kill in cold blood. Precisely your duty as a UNATCO peacekeeper.
Manderley certainly does.
He'll cool down. The important thing is that you obey your conscience.
Right.
Tell me what you need, and I'll load you up.
Sniper rifle, 30-06.
You learn fast. I'm impressed.
So long, Agent.
I'm taking you to New York.
My orders are to go to Hong Kong.
Your brother's in trouble. You need to meet him in Hell's Kitchen at the apartment.
What's wrong?
I'll let him speak for himself. He just wanted me to get you to the hotel. Your brother's hurt pretty bad. You'll find him at the apartment. If he can walk, get him to come with you. I can pick you guys up in Battery Park.
He's not my boyfriend.
And what is he?
He's Jojo. God!
I don't like him staying in my hotel.
Then evict him.
How'd you get mixed up with someone like that in the first place?
Jesus, Dad, do you expect me to do it? It's your hotel.
I just don't want any trouble.
Then get used to it. Jojo's the boss on this street. Nothing anybody can do about it.
What's the trouble?
None of your business.
One of the neighborhood thugs, Jojo. He thinks he owns the block.
I can straighten him out. Just tell me where he is.
I get some rough people in here, but this guy, I don't know, he's jumpy.
He's just a punk. I'll take care of it.
Can you help me out? Could really use a gun for protection.
I would rather not arm a civilian.
You weren't gonna shoot nobody anyway, Jesus.
What am I going to do?
Besides, it's against the law for civilians to carry weapons.
Tell that to the gangsters.
Oh, you bad. What you just lying around for, girl?
What?
I told you, bar rush is money. It's business.
In a minute.
That's my daughter you're talking to.
I already explained it, old man. Your girl, she needs me. She don't got an education, and all you got to give her is a job killing rats.
This is my hotel. I want you to leave.
Next thing is, I explain it to Lo Bruto. Is that what you want?
I'll go already. Leave him alone.
I don't care what happens to me. Stay away from my little girl. You saved my life.
I was hoping I'd run into that punk.
Are you nuts? You almost got yourself killed.
You can relax now. No more getting bossed around.
No thanks to you. If it wasn't for JC, we'd both be dead.
You want to go through your whole life with guys like Jojo? Is that it?
God, I can't stand this place.
I think you'll be happier without that guy around.
I'm leaving. I'm getting on a bus and going west until I run out of money or get to the ocean, whichever comes first.
Come on, Sandra. I just wanted to help.
Is this kill switch real? What's it going to do to you?
I'm afraid that's, classified.
Manderley said you're going to die.
You've got to have God clearance to know. The nanites can be programmed for exponential growth.
There's a chopper that can take us to Hong Kong. You know Jock?
First, you're the only one that can help. I need to send the NSF distress code. UNATCO tracked Lebedev to the other NSF bases, and to Silhouette in France.
I came to get you out of here.
JC, you've got to believe me. UNATCO takes payoffs. Silhouette, the other terrorist groups, they're our allies.
You've done what you can for the rebels. Let's go.
You want proof? Pay a visit to the NSF headquarters. Down in the basement, protected by booby traps, a data cube sits on the edge of a table. My report to the militia leaders. Here, I have a photograph of the building. It's a couple blocks to the west, behind the bar.
And I suppose while I'm there, you want me to encrypt a signal with the NSF transmitter. Bypass UNATCO SIGINT?
A lot of people could die.
My friend Chad, for example, the leader of Silhouette. I'll check out the facility, but I can't promise I'll help the terrorists. Be ready to leave for Hong Kong when I get back. You sure you're alright? No worse than a bad cold. What kills me is just that they have this kind of power. The power, yes, but the fact that it's been there from the beginning. A lot of things are starting to make sense. You remember Mom and Dad? Your NSF buddy Lebedev says our parents were employees of the United Nations. I think he might be right. They would never have agreed to anything like a kill switch. Remember, I knew them longer than you did, and after what Tong showed me, I'm pretty certain we don't have a stitch of DNA in common with either of our supposed parents.
Yes. Password?
Bloodshot.
Tell Paul he better lay low for the next few hours. Now what do you want?
Anything for sale?
Hey, about your brother. If he's in Hell's Kitchen, he's a sitting duck.
So you heard that he went over to the NSF?
UNATCO's got this place nailed down. One thing they can't stand, an agent gone AWOL.
Maybe I should prepare for the worst. What do you have for me?
Since you helped Ford, I'll cut you a deal. I'll give you an extended clip that'll fit most handguns and rifles for 500 credits, a range weapon mod for 800, or a napalm canister that fits most flamethrowers for 750.
I'll take the range mod for 800.
Deal.
How's life on the outside?
So far, so good. I'm already back to my own research.
What are you working on?
Myelin. Sometimes we can't sell prosthetics because people are afraid of nerve damage.
Synthetic myelin?
A genetic treatment. I've thought for a long time that if we could make people's nervous systems a little more resilient, we could put a good price on some of the junk smugglers collected over the years.
I see.
I thought they were shipping you off to Hong Kong.
Had to pack a few things. What's going on here?
Damage control. The NSF got their hands on some pretty sensitive material.
Probably had something to do with my two-faced brother.
Nothing we can't clean up.
Mind if I take a look around?
Go right ahead.
You'll need to send the signal from the satellite dish on the top of the warehouse. If you're unable to hack the computers up there, you'll need the instructions and account information Lebedev sent me. One of our agents who tried to send the signal but got run off left the data cube in a secret area below the garage. Look for a hatch under some boxes. A computer on the 3rd floor can unlock the hatch.
Just look around. Think UNATCO be handing out assault guns if funding was left of the UN?
Well,
the uniforms. If it wasn't for Simons, we'd still be wearing those little white helmets.
Yeah.
He's what they call a philanthropist.
Axe this file?
Yeah, all of it. The whole directory.
What I want to know is what he gets in return.
Don't you know what a philanthropist is?
Yeah, like Nietzsche.
No, a philanthropist. Giving to charity.
Oh.
And that's why he volunteered for FEMA, to help out after hurricanes and that kind of thing.
That's a lot of money to just give away.
Some people are just good, you know? Good to the bone.
That the signal went out. You even reached Silhouette in France. Come back to the apartment. Let's clear out of New York.
Denton, Alton Simons here. What an expensive mistake you turned out to be. I want the troops to kill you because, frankly, I don't have the patience to wait for one of those damn kill switches to work.
Engaging the enemy.
Your buddy Chad should have received the signal. Come on, UNATCO's after both of us. Good. He'll be able to get his people to their base in the Paris catacombs. Do Did you find the records we collected on that weasel, Walton Simons? I have a question about Simons. The instant I sent the signal, he ordered the troopers to hunt us down. Why does FEMA have authority over UNATCO? I thought FEMA was a domestic agency for flood relief and that sort of thing. His authority doesn't come from FEMA. He's part of a secret organization, Majestic 12. We don't know much more than the name. They plan to use FEMA as part of a scheme to shut down the U.S. government.
Agent J.C. Denton, please put down your weapons and step into the hallway.
UNATCO! Come on, out the window. We'll meet Jock in Battery Park. I can't manage the climb. You go ahead. The code to the gate they installed at the subway station is 6282. I can't just leave you here.
Open up.
Don't be a fool. Run! I'll have Smuggler get me to Hong Kong. He owes me a favor. You meet Jock in Battery Park.
JC, I gotta take off. UNATCO troops are moving into the park. I'll land again when it looks safe.
We had such hopes for you and your brother. It would seem you are not as loyal as we expected.
Loyalty to what Simons and agents like you have made of UNATCO? I would rather die.
We are thinking the same thought. Come out, Agent. I can sense you quite clearly.
There is no escape. We will surrender.
Another peacekeeping occupation?
Not any better. They expect us to take you and Paul alive.
I surrender.
Now we will find out what you know.
I came to watch you die.
You're early. I've got at least 20 hours left.
I was hoping the kill switch would have started.
I don't feel anything.
You won't be able to hide it for long.
What have you done with Paul?
Same as anything that malfunctions. Same as you.
I need you to escape. I can cut power to the door only a few seconds without being detected. Get ready.
Who's there?
You're the spy they caught, right?
I never worked for the NSF, but my brother did. I think he was captured too.
You're definitely not the only prisoner. I heard noises down the hall.
Good. Maybe I can find him.
Let's get out of here. I smuggled in a knife and a med kit too. You want the med kit?
Yeah, I'll take the med kit.
What do you say? I think we can make it.
I'd rather that you wait here.
Let me know when the coast is clear.
My goodness! Mr. Denton, did you escape?
Yeah. How do you know who I am?
I'm a prisoner too, and I say your name every day. I have cells from your body and culture. Your brothers too.
My brother? Is he nearby?
They have him in the medical area. Agent Denton, believe me, I share your fury at his kill switch functionality.
Do you know Paul?
Only from his disuse. The gods want me to figure out why your bodies tolerate the nanites. A damn hard question, I'm sorry to say.
Do me a favor, play dumb. They know enough already.
I try. Oh, how I try.
Maybe you can slip out when I open the main doors.
I've already been shot once, thank you. But good luck. The only code I can give you is 0199. That's to the medical area. Maybe you'd like to see your brother.
I would. Thank you very much.
Is he armed?
It's Denton. We aren't taking any chances.
I hope nobody gets hurt.
We've got him penned in. He won't get far.
What about this area? Is it safe?
Long as I'm with you.
Paul, are you all right? What are they doing to you? I'm like the Russian researcher who contracted his own virus. They want to study the way I die. I hate to interfere with science, but we don't have much time to get you to Tracer Tong. You go first. I'll slip out on my own. You sure? Just take care of yourself, and do me a favor. Check in with Alex when you reach UNATCO level 3. Some of those guys are on our side. All right, but you better make it. By the way, be on the lookout for Anna. She came by the cell block. Anna, there's something you should know about mechs. They have kill switches too. Only theirs are instantaneous. Interesting. I guess mechs have us beat on one count. A kill phrase, they call it. The NSF learned that Anna's is stored in 2 pieces on 2 separate UNATCO computers with the login Demiurge and password Archon. But I never managed to find it. Thanks for the tip. I have some business to take care of in Manhattan. See you in Hong Kong.
Data vault image sent to Tracer Tong. Please leave the facility. At least one of you must survive. The code to the exit door is 1125.
Someone's there. I can hear you.
That's it.
Please exit to the helipad. Potential encounters include Jaime Reyes, Sam Carter, Alex Jacobson, Joseph Manderley, and Anna Navarra.
JC, you escaped? Is that what lockdown's about?
I forgot to give Manderley my resignation.
I heard they killed Paul.
MIB's raided the apartment, but he's alive. He's going to slip out on his own.
Manderley's a snake. He told me they were going to leave your brother alone. What can I do to help?
Stay here. I could use an ally inside UNATCO.
Good idea. I can keep you informed.
Do that, but be careful. You know what they do to spies.
I will. By the way, the lab finally sent the augmentation canister I ordered.
The one on the counter? Can your bots do the installation?
Yeah, it was going to be a welcome aboard present.
Guess it will have to be a retirement gift.
JC, I've been watching you through your info link. A harrowing escape.
Thanks for tuning in.
You're gonna need a key to get out of UNATCO. We're under lockdown. I'd give it to you, but I don't know. Anna's on patrol. If she found out...
I'll take care of Anna.
I think I have to play it safe. If you can get rid of her, I'll give you the key and maybe I can escape myself. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep my head down.
General Carter.
We've been through that, soldier. Just Carter.
I've discovered some things about UNATCO.
I'm unlocking the armor. I don't want to know where you're going. just load up.
Walton Simon's the head of FEMA.
I said load up. I don't want to hear it.
I'm going over to the rebels. You should join me.
Let's get one thing straight. We've got our share of crooked bureaucrats, fact. But this is still UNATCO. And by and large, the people in this building are 24 karat gold.
What good's an honest soldier if he can be ordered to behave like a terrorist?
The only way to save the agency is for the good people to stay. That's how I see it.
How could you betray the Coalition? I thought we were a family here.
You will be much happier at the Library of Congress.
I can't control a man's mind.
You aren't a commander, Manderley. We hoped you'd give UNATCO an urbane diplomatic face, that's all. We screwed up our priorities.
I refuse to be pushed into some obscure bureaucratic cubbyhole.
Actually, I doubt you'll get the chance. Look around. Your star pupil has come back to teach a lesson to his old instructor.
JC.
I never had time to take the oath of service to the Coalition. How about this one? I swear not to rest until UNATCO is free of you and the other crooked bureaucrats who perverted its mission.
Big words for a rookie. The only problem is that I've notified Agent Navarra of your escape. Trust me, she'll make sure you don't leave the facility alive.
You can't run, Denton. Even if you escape, your kill switch is counting down. You'll be dead in 23 hours. Another $50 billion down the drain.
We'll see about that.
I will have to kill you myself.
Take your best shot, Flatlander woman.
How did you know?
You gave Anna exactly what she deserved. I've sat here and watched her kill dozens of suspects. Now I'm not so worried about sticking out my neck to give you this key.
I think you've already stuck out your neck, Daedalus.
What are you talking about?
You haven't been contacting me under an alias?
The link went down. At first, I thought they'd executed you.
Who else has access? Somebody cut the power to detention.
I installed UNATCO security myself. It's unbeatable. You're starting to scare me.
Not as much as you're scaring me. Who's Daedalus, and why does he want to rescue me?
A better hacker than I. A trick like that? Well, it crossed my mind, I have to admit. I'm pretty disgusted with the agency right now, but I would have been caught.
You wouldn't want to take that chance.
No, but I can't just sit back and watch.
You sound sincere. Maybe you should quit UNATCO.
And do what?
You can track me down in Hong Kong. I'm going to contact Tracer Tong and help the Resistance.
I might do that. Sure, I'll think about it. And I'm gonna check into this mystery hacker.
Who's there? Hold it.
No, I cannot forgive. No. Not the killing of Agent Navarre. I will follow you. Denton, I will get you.
How'd you know to meet me?
Daedalus. He called himself Daedalus.
A friend of yours?
Nope. I came because I owe your brother Paul a few favors. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna take you to Hong Kong.
Can you put me in contact with Tracer Tong?
I know a place where we can touch down in the city, but Tong is very suspicious of foreigners. You'll have to earn the trust of your brother's allies. They'll know how to find Tong.
Great. Let's go.
Time to see if this stealth copter is worth all the fuss. MJ-12 has a facility in Hong Kong, and they'll be watching for us.
boss wants you bad. Locked on the chopper and had the nav computer fly straight in. Vest doors are shut. My weapons are locked. Weapon lock switches on flight control deck 1. Get me back online or we're dead meat. Careful down there. That fueling equipment was installed by the lowest bidder. One time I had to fly a couple of gas technicians to the emergency room. You just released poison gas into the lower levels. Find a hazmat suit or get out of there.
Whoever's out there, give yourself up.
Back in business. Come on down and stay clear of the blast doors to the south. I'm gonna launch a missile. Fire in the hole. Okay, you need to find Tracer Tom. He used to drop Paul off at a small compound east of the market. You could start there. Don't lose any time. Your kill switch is 12 hours old.
If you die, our plans will fail. Locate Tracer Tom.
You're next to the compound Paul used to visit, but I don't know who it belongs to. I think I'm clear now. Good thing the NSA invested in stealth technology.
My brother's name is Paul Denton. I heard that he was a frequent visitor to this compound. Do you know him?
The Romanos path is closed to Guilos.
Paul is no friend of the West.
My name is Gordon Quick. I know your brother, but you are not him. They say you are loyal to Unatco.
I was, before Paul showed up in New York. A day later, I was helping the NSF.
You want me to take your word? You are in Hong Kong now, and we are businessmen. Paul earned our trust by working with us.
I don't have time for games.
No games. We would like another ally like Paul. The Triads are at war, thanks to a woman named Maggie Chow. A sword was stolen from the Red Arrow Triad, and Miss Chow started the war by blaming us, the Romanus Path.
Why is one sword so important?
It is an extraordinary sword called the Dragon's Tooth. Nanotechnology developed by the Red Arrows for Morida before he was murdered. We know that Chow is a liar, but we have no proof.
I'll go speak to her, but first I need to find a man called Tracer Tong. I need his help.
Mr. Tong deals with businessmen, not beggars or strangers who might be spies. Chow lives at 1313 Tonochi Road. Be observant. Find and examine that sword. It is the evidence we need.
I'll help you against Miss Chow, but then I'll need to see Tong, or I won't be your ally for more than about 12 hours.
Not advisable for tourists to visit the canals at night.
Good evening, sir.
Slow night?
Not at all. Everyone requires sampan now that the Triads destroyed Canal Road Tunnel.
Why'd they do that?
Fighting in the tunnels, sir. 5 nights ago, now it is caved in and flooded.
That must have hurt the shops in Wan Chai.
People have died. Yesterday, 4 Europeans arrived, treasure hunters. They are here to dive in the ruins and loot the bodies.
Must be the year of the vulture.
It is an ugly business, but a profitable one. They have given me a commission if I can sell the weapon mods they have already recovered. I have modifications for accuracy, reload, and recoil for 750, 600, and 400.
I'll take the accuracy mod for 750.
Very good.
Paul Denton, I have the blueprints. I must warn you, Oh.
Warn me about what?
I have made a mistake.
Paul's my brother. What's the problem?
No, I have made a mistake.
You can trust me. I really am Paul's brother. You said something about blueprints.
No, I do not know you. Maybe you work for VersaLife.
VersaLife. Good. We're getting closer. You might as well tell me the rest. If I'm gonna kill you, you're already dead.
You paid me, okay? I only did it for the money. I have the blueprints of the VersaLife building, 2,000 credits. And I have the other things he wanted. The scrambler grenade for $12.50 and the thermoptic camo for $4,000.
What did Paul want with VersaLife?
All he said was not to get caught and to tell nobody what I did.
Give me the VersaLife blueprints for $2,000.
Excellent. Tell no one.
Many bargains at Old China Hand. Everything 8 credits.
Heard the name Tracer Tong?
Tong, yes. Friend of Luminous Path Triad. And by extension, enemy of the Red Air.
What's his reputation among the locals?
Sure, by fair. Very well connected. You want to buy? Biomechanical augmentation?
Just curious. You know of a Maggie Chow?
Maggie Chow, a bad character. Before she was an actress. Now she's everywhere in Hong Kong politics. They say that she's a spy.
Who does she spy for?
No one knows. Somebody paid her a lot of money once, and one of the rares ended up floating in the canal. Dangerous to talk about.
Is there a lot of crime in Hong Kong?
Much more than before, yes. Now it's very easy for the smugglers.
What kind of smugglers?
Slaves, heroin, biotech.
Is there really a slave trade?
Oh, sure. Visit Lucky Money underneath Wen Chai, the Red Air headquarters. Of their girls, they are kidnapped in Thailand or the Philippines. Not a pretty business.
What sort of biotech smuggling goes on?
Mostly VersaLife, the golden triangle of biotech.
Why would a multinational corporation smuggle their products on sampans?
Import restrictions in many places. The United States, European countries.
On what?
Certain genetic advances, laboratory organisms, also tiny computers in your tissue.
What's VersaLife trying to develop?
Everything, the second man.
The second men?
English author, Olaf Stepton. You have not read?
Afraid not.
Last and the First Man. History of 19 species of human beings. I can't believe you do not know this book.
I'm not big into books. Never mind.
You are an unfamiliar face on Tonochi Road.
I'm here on business from Gordon Quick.
You are here to speak to Miss Chow, perhaps. Half a block down on the left.
Thank you.
The woman is a snake. Believe nothing she says.
Maggie Chow wants to see me. I assume that's her hotel across the street?
That is correct.
How do I get up to see her?
The main elevator. Maggie Chow will be angry if you arrive any other way.
Welcome to Queen's Tower.
I'm looking for Maggie Chow.
You must be Mr. Denton. Miss Chow has been expecting you. She is waiting in the living room. Please follow me. I will accompany you. The floor coverings were made by hand in Tibet. Mother Chow, Mr. J.C. Denton.
In the flesh. As dark and serious as his brother.
You know who I am. And Paul? You know my brother?
Intimately. Call me Maggie.
Paul never mentioned you.
That is why he is still alive. He can keep a secret even from his own brother.
But why?
Paul told you about Majestic 12, correct? The conspiracy behind UNATCO?
Just the name.
Majestic 12 sent Paul to murder the former Red Arrow leader. And me too.
And he double-crossed them?
Let's just say I persuaded him to join our side.
What does Majestic 12 want with the Red Arrow?
We are winning the Triad War against Majestic 12's ally, the Luminous Path. We were developing a new technology. You might have heard about a sword?
The Dragon's Tooth, right?
The Triads settle disputes in contests of skill, which includes the crafting of weapons. The Dragon's Tooth would have made us unstoppable.
So Majestic 12. They're trying to tip the balance, give the Luminous Path a technological advantage.
Exactly. I tried to warn the people of the danger. And the Luminous Path calls me a liar. The police have all the evidence they need to settle this, locked up in the station at the Wanchai Market, but they will not act. Go and see. I know the code to their vault. 87342.
It's only fair to tell you that I spoke with Gordon Quick before coming here. I thought he was a friend of my brother's. I agreed to visit you and learn the truth of the situation.
Yes, you were seen. The new Red Arrow leader is Max Chen, and you don't have to go to the Lucky Money for him to know your activities. Now tell me about Paul. Why did he not return?
Paul's on his way to Hong Kong. I don't know when he will arrive.
Then you must think for yourself. In Hong Kong, the truth is seldom kept in plain sight. From up here, the city is scenery, a mountain that never changes. But everywhere the sands are shifting. We cannot know who to trust. The police, even our own families.
I could look around, try to learn something about the Luminous Path.
All the necessary evidence is at the police station in Wanchai Market. If only the police would act.
Don't make me call the police.
Greetings, J.C. Denton. I have been observing you through this fascinating device in your skull. You have found the proof we needed. The Dragon's Tooth sword. There, inside the glass case. If you wish to be my ally, you will retrieve the sword and await my instructions. Now take the sword to Max Chin at the Lucky Money Club. If you can make peace among the Triads, then perhaps I can help you in your difficulties.
Leather boots. For you, 25 credits admission.
Here you go.
Perfect. I order you to stand in the spotlight and growl at the women like a dog who needs a master. Hey man, where you from?
The States.
We're from Australia.
On vacation?
Let's just wait for Russ.
He's kinda cute. What's your name?
JC. Is this a good club?
Oh, totally. And it's a Red Arrow place? They get everything real cheap. Look, can we ask a big favor?
Sure.
My friend and I. It's so silly. We left our credit cards at the hotel. Think you could get us in?
How much do you need?
Only 20 each. We get in for 20.
Sure.
Right, you like to dance then? Let's go.
You're so bad.
Good evening.
Hello there. Great place here.
Isn't it? You have the wrong idea about the Triads, you know.
In what way?
They run the economy. The black market prices in clubs like this let people have a good time.
You know a man named Max Chen?
Of course I know Max, a terrific fellow.
Do you know where I can find him?
In the back room. He runs the whole Red Arrow from here. Hey, you're not with the police, are you?
I'll tell you later.
That was so cool, man. Thank you so much. Do you know Max Chen? He runs this place.
No problem. We go way back. Want to dance?
Bet you've got some moves I haven't seen before.
There's only one way to find out.
Let me loosen up a bit. Mind if I borrow 10 credits to get a drink?
Sorry. You'll have to fend for yourself.
I'll pay you back.
I got you in. I'm not paying for anything else.
Don't have to get knocky. Jeez.
Must be close to a breakthrough.
But which division?
Maybe all of them. Something fundamental. I saw guards in biotech, too.
I think it's just the UC.
They've had that for weeks.
But word has gotten out. Every engineer on the planet.
VersaLife already has the best security in the industry.
Even my game programmer friend in Texas offered me 1 million credits for 1 hour on the UC. Wanted to make the game of life with buckyballs. Joking, of course.
Mind if I ask what you were talking about?
You with the company?
It just sounded interesting. Troops. At a corporation?
Not your affair. Please do not intrude.
Spare is 15. Wine is 120.
I'm looking for Max Chen.
Is that so? What is it about?
I need to find Tracer Tong.
Are you crazy? Can't even say that name in here.
Can I ask you something?
What do you want to know?
Despite all I've read about the Triads, I wasn't prepared to see them operating in the open, on the streets and wearing uniforms. Doesn't the Chinese government care?
Chinese leave Hong Kong alone. They barricade the roads to control trade to the mainland, but they know how business is done.
I would think the secret smuggling operations of the Triads would disturb the Chinese government.
Maybe the luminous path, but China knows that the red arrow of business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and that they protect the city from outside influences.
You said outside influences. What does China fear?
China is the last sovereign country in the world. Authoritarian but willing, unlike the UN-governed countries, to give its people the freedom to do what they want.
As long as they don't break the law.
Listen to me. This is real freedom. Freedom to own property, make a profit, make your life. The West, so afraid of strong government, now has no government, only financial power.
Our governments have limited power by design.
Rhetoric? You believe it? Don't you know where these slogans come from?
I give up.
Well-paid researchers. How do you say it? Think tanks? Funded by big businesses. What is that? A think tank?
Hardly as sinister as a dictator, like China's premier.
Privately funded propaganda. The Trilateral Commission in the United States, for instance.
The separation of powers acknowledges the petty ambitions of individuals. That's its strength.
A system organized around the weakest qualities of individuals will produce the same qualities in its leaders.
Perhaps certain qualities are an inseparable part of human nature.
The mark of the educated man is the suppression of these qualities in favor of better ones. The same is true of civilization.
Excuse me, sir. This room is off limits to club patrons. I suggest you leave.
It's okay. I'm here to see Max Chen. He'll expect me.
An American. I hope he likes what you have to say.
You must be Max Chen.
So?
I have found something in Miss Chow's apartment that might interest you.
Is that so?
The sword was never destroyed. It was stolen, and she is the one who stole it.
Preposterous.
I have it right here.
But Miss Chow?
She works for a group called Majestic 12. She's using you and the Red Arrow for her own ends.
No, you must be mistaken.
Think about it. She murders your predecessor, hides the sword, pushes the Red Arrow into the war with the Luminous Path, and then, what next? The Triads are weakened and an outside group seizes power. Sound far-fetched?
Oh, there must be an explanation.
Perhaps you should meet with the leaders of the Luminous Path.
Perhaps. For now, take them this message. I will stop hostilities until I have completed an investigation.
Boss.
What is it?
Marty at the door, so we have trouble. Soldiers coming in.
Chow is a con artist.
You have proof?
Yes, I found the sword in her apartment.
Good. Inform the Red Arrow Dragonhead. Then we will see who is the real traitor.
I've already been to the Lucky Money. Max Chen has declared a truce between the Red Arrow and the Luminous Path.
A truce? Are you certain?
Majestic 12 attacked the club. I think he would consider forming an alliance.
Mr. Denton, you are the man I hoped you were. Tracer Tong is inside, in his laboratory below the compound. The door is in our sparring room. He will know what to do next. To enter our compound, use the code 1997. You must be JC. Tong will see you now.
Mr. Tong, you know my brother Paul Denton.
Yes, a reliable man. So your kill switch has been activated.
I feel fine, but it's been over 16 hours.
See how easily our technologies turn on us? The more power you think you have, the more quickly it slips from your hands.
Can you do something about it?
That will depend. You, like your brother, are an extraordinary piece of technology. I never pass up the chance to try a new blade, but I fear at the crucial moment I may lift up my arm to strike and you will twist free of my grasp.
In other words, I'll owe you a favor.
Indeed, as will your friend Mr. Jacobson, a man of much useful knowledge. He arrived in Hong Kong shortly after you did. I was forced to keep him in custody until I could verify his identity and his loyalties.
I assume he checked out.
I believe he is sincere. Now, go down the stairs to the operating platform, and I will examine your systems.
You took a big risk following me here. Thanks.
When you believe in something, you've just got to do it.
How'd you find Tom so quickly?
Turns out I knew him all along. tt_.0924.243.886. I posted a message to the board and contacted me himself.
You talked to Jaime before you left?
He told me you wanted to use him as a spy. I don't know. Pretty dangerous, isn't it?
Maybe. What do you think?
Jaime was scared. Simons is on a witch hunt for traitors.
They probably suspect him because we're friends.
Exactly. But he told me he's going to stick it out because you think it'll help.
I hope he's smart enough to know when to get out. Did you ever dig up anything about this Daedalus character? I'm still hearing from him.
Actually, I did, sort of. Crypto says Daedalus was supposedly a government AI project, also known as Echelon 4.
Supposedly?
I'm getting this from anonymous crypto boards. Daedalus was supposed to beat the old content recognition problem in surveillance. It was a program that could search all the terabytes of intercepted messages for subversive content.
So, what happened?
Never panned out as far as I know. The problem was just too hard. They blew through a lot of taxpayer money, but finally had to scrap the whole project.
So the thing that's talking in my head is, what, resurrected AI?
I wish I knew.
Stay right there.
Simple switch, as they call it.
Have you heard from Paul?
On his way, according to Smuggler in New York. He will be fine. Meanwhile, we still face the likelihood of a triad war here in Hong Kong.
Quick and Chen declared a truce just a few minutes ago.
A good bit of diplomacy, I admit, but it won't hold. Not with the sword left to be fought over.
I think they'll be slow to anger with Maggie Chow out of the picture.
No. In their system, the sword is a doomsday weapon, a temptation. We must recover the ramen coding from VersaLife and make it available to both triads.
So that's all you expect in the way of a favor? A little corporate espionage?
The first of many favors. Remember, I saved your life. Now pay attention. The VersaLife elevator north of the market will require an employee number. Try 06288. Once inside, find Mr. Hundley, the shift supervisor. He can be persuaded to give you access to the labs.
Hundley.
You will find him receptive. He is the corrupt official who sold the Red Arrow the technology to begin with.
I'll find the ramen coding, but I'm not your henchman. I'll help you as long as we have a mutual interest.
If you choose to fight Majestic 12, you will need an ally. We will have a mutual interest for some time. In fact, I took the liberty of setting up a computer account for you. Log in JC Denton. Password Sanctuary. Feel free to use the machine in my office.
Welcome to VersaLife. We make tomorrow look like yesterday. How can I help you?
I'm looking for Mr. Hundley.
He's upstairs making his rounds. Look for a man in a black suit.
Thank you.
So much for the schedule, right, mate?
The schedule? Yeah, sure.
It's swell to miss a day of work, but they bloody hell better push back the delivery. I know I won't be done.
They'll understand.
At least the super freighters on our way to America. No more special agents nosing about up here.
Special agents?
You know, the ones in the suits with grey skin. Eyes tattooed on the backs of their necks. I'd sure like to know what was in those tanks to make them so uptight.
Mr. Hundley, shift supervisor. Who might you be?
I'm contracting this month. Quite a facility you have here.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, we're pretty proud of the work we're doing.
Any chance I could get a tour of the labs?
Oh, no, I'm afraid not. Trade secrets and all that.
I'll make it worth your while.
To the tune of what? 2,000?
Never mind.
What?
Just looking around.
People are trying to concentrate.
They keep you up here pretty late.
That's because they don't want people looking over my shoulder.
Why not?
Huh. I guess it doesn't matter what I say anymore. It's because I falsify all the records, okay?
They probably don't want you telling people that.
So, I don't care. I figured it out today, how they do it. People with my job got the Great Death. In a couple of weeks, I could be in a camp. I could already be sick.
Why would they do that?
Whatever's in those labs, stuff goes in there. Instruments, military personnel. None of it goes on the record. Iverson had this job, that's why he got sick. Chang, Kylie, Watts. Now it's me.
I'd really like to check out those labs.
You some kind of spy or something?
Does it matter?
If I get you down there, can you do something for me?
What's that?
Hundley, kill him. I bet you could do it. You guys have ways to keep from getting caught. I can give you clearance.
Alright, I killed your boss.
You mean?
He's out of the picture. I'd advise you not to hang around too long. Now how about getting me into the labs?
Well, okay. Sure, it doesn't matter to me. The code to the elevator is 6512. I'll make sure you have access once you get to the lab.
You the one they just cleared for level 1?
Yeah, that's me.
You are welcome to stroll around the laboratories, but respect the work that we do here. Your security pass can be canceled with no warning.
I've looked forward to this for a long time.
Security is watching through the cameras. If you cause trouble, an alarm will sound, and the guards won't wait to ask questions.
Yes, sir. I'll try not to get in anyone's way.
I don't recall being informed of any visitors. Your activities here have been noted. We will have many questions to ask your department head. The directive provided very specific instructions for you to follow. Your purpose for being here remains unclear.
The process is going smoothly then?
Better than we expected. The array of reaction modules has allowed the UC to perform multiple constructions in parallel.
Wonderful. We'll have to try that trick at Area 51.
The problem, you understand, is primarily a security concern.
Never mind that coming from you, Matt, though. The security here is adequate, and we have a long-term program guaranteed to make him irrelevant. We call it Icarus.
Icarus?
A sweet bit of engineering. You'll like it, but we can't talk here. Your office?
No time. Tell me on the way.
Return to where you belong.
It could have leaked.
I know, I thought...
One spore. How many times do I have to say it? One spore could wipe out everyone in this building.
I thought the magnet was on.
Don't think! The control panels have colored lights so that you don't have to think!
The ROM encoding should be in this wing of the laboratory.
I was down in the labs. Do you know what they're doing?
Something with genetics and nanotech, that's all I know.
Take my advice and get out of here. I can't tell you any more than that.
Let us be quiet. Agent Denton from America has retrieved the software component. Please accept our gratitude.
It is my honor.
Begin.
As the faces of a perfect blade are reflections of one another, as they join together to make a perfect edge, so we shall form one blade, not the male and female swords of Ganjiang, one which must avenge the other, but one weapon, precise in its purpose, though wielded by many arms.
And much as the steel sharpens its edge and anneals its own surfaces, let us preserve, together, the form of our traditions.
The only enduring work of man, that which is born again with the next generation.
Forever.
Forever.
Again, accept our thanks, Mr. Denton. You will have to join us for drinks at the Lucky Money later tonight. In the meantime, Mr. Tong wants to see you.
Thanks for the offer. Maybe I'll stop by. Peace between the triads is now official.
Good. We begin to operate from a position of strength. We will start manufacturing the swords and distributing them to our allies.
What next? VersaLife was crawling with troops. I think they were hiding more than sword technology down there.
Tell me about the labs. Paul and I concluded that VersaLife does the manufacturing, while the real research takes place in North America.
Plenty of scientists. Biotech, physics, nanotech, several research divisions. It would seem we still have a mutual interest.
We know they manufacture ambrosia. If you went back and gained access to the Level 2 labs, perhaps you would find something on the Grey Death. Your brother's failure in New York has left me with nothing.
You think you could find a cure?
That cannot be determined until I have a schematic of the virus particle and the molecular structure of ambrosia.
I'll go back, but won't they be ready for me?
There's a back way at the north end of the Canal Road Tunnel, which is just east of the temple. I sent an agent in that way once. She turned up a key code to the nanotech research wing, 55655, but no data.
Worth a try.
By the way, VersaLife lost one of their R&D men in the Canal Road Tunnel collapse. A guy we think was carrying nanotech assets. He did some of the basic research that went into your implants. You might take a look, if you don't mind going for a dive.
Maybe I'll check it out.
There is a device in here called a universal constructor. It is one of the only two devices in the world capable of producing the nanomechanical virus called the Grey Death. I require you to destroy it. Use the code 525.
Bad move, Agent.
Hello, Maggie.
You are a fool to trust Tracer Tong. He will send you out to die, just like he did with your brother.
At least he doesn't pretend to be someone he's not.
You should have played along. You would have profited in ways you will never know.
You're a rotten actress.
And you're a rotten agent. You just got yourself killed.
Tracking down this Dowd connection. Illuminati fingerprints all over the Sterix. I'm talking about the molecule shape. 17 segments, 23 coupling points. Only Illuminati technicians use sleeve bearings with 34-fold and 46-fold symmetry. Multiples of 17 and 23. 17, 23? The birth of Adam Weishaupt? Not a coincidence.
Don't know if I care for your sense of humor.
Humor?
The Illuminati stuff. I was risking my life in there.
No joke, Mr. Ditton. They're quite real, though not as powerful as they were at the beginning of the century. I know a few of the former leaders.
Like Stanton Dowd?
Yes, plus Beth Duclair, Morgan Everett. Most of them in Paris, I understand.
What do they have to do with Majestic 12?
A question for Dowd. I will contact him in New York. Hopefully he will agree to meet you.
What about a hacker named Daedalus?
A valuable informant. He sent me one of the codes I needed to find that super freighter.
A super freighter? That's enough virus to infect a continent.
Your pilot is landing in the courtyard. Find out and see if he knows where the ship is going or how we can stop it. In any case, it is time you left Hong Kong. There is word of a UNATCO agent searching for you here. A German, they say. Augmented.
Tell your people not to tangle with him. I'll deal with him myself. Tom fix you up? Yeah, you? You cut it pretty close. I'm in pretty bad shape. Looks like I'll be living in Hong Kong for a couple of months. Will you get better? Any permanent damage? I'll recover, but not right away. You'll be on your own for a while. I hear you've already been keeping busy. Just getting to know the locals. Turns out VersaLife had a universal constructor. They were synthesizing the virus right here. Tong told me. Not a cheap gizmo. Majestic 12 sure does a lot of R&D. Every ruler needs a power base. Without the people, well, you need something to use against them. I'm going to see what Tong has to say about the schematics I recovered. Hey, do me a favor. Get better. I'm working on it.
Tong filled me in. So we have to dig up Stanton Dowd?
Yeah, you know him?
I heard a few things. I think Harley Philbin knows how to contact him. I always thought Philbin was pulling my leg about the Illuminati, though.
I guess we'll find out when we get to New York. Let's not waste any time. You out here because of martial law? I didn't know they were using Marines.
Nah, UNATCO likes to work alone. I just came out to look up a girl I used to know, Sandra Renton. FEMA gave me a pass for the curfew.
She left town.
I know. Just my luck.
What's FEMA doing handing out travel papers?
They took over the advanced submarine base where I work. I don't like being pushed off duty, but I guess little R&R never hurt anyone.
They brought in their own staff?
Most of us were moved out of the main submarine hangar last night. FEMA set up a perimeter. We'd sure like to know what's going on in there.
I would too. Maybe I'll check it out for you.
You a cop?
Used to be.
I'll say it straight. I'm a patriot. I don't like to see one of our top secret bases commandeered, especially when the only people allowed inside are these Asian mafia types. You think you can do something about it? I can have my buddies at the front gate let you slip by. My name's Vinny. Tell them you know me.
Thanks. I'll see what I can find out.
What do you want? Prices have tripled to 30 because of martial law.
Heard the name Stanton Dowd.
What do you want with Dowd?
A private matter. Know where I can find him.
I'm gonna say this once. That German mech from UNATCO already came by looking for you. You got money to spend? Fine. This curfew's killing me, but leave me out of your business. That guy's oiled up and ready for a fight.
Gunther.
Do you want something or not?
Never mind.
UNATCO's put a price on your head. What are you doing in the city?
I didn't expect the kitchen to be under martial law.
People know the government has a vaccine. Riots everywhere.
You still on the dole at UNATCO?
I never mentioned. I've been working for the NSF all along, and the Illuminati. I'm on your side.
Right, the Illuminati. I need to find one of their leaders, Stanton Dowd. A load of plague virus is on its way to New York.
Virus? You mean the Great Death? What's Dowd got to do with it?
The same corporation that makes ambrosia also manufactures the virus. Quite convenient. The virus came over in a super freighter previously owned by Dowd.
Yeah, most of Majestic 12 is just hand-me-downs from the Illuminati. Huh. We knew about ambrosia, but the virus? That's news. They're infecting people on purpose, huh?
I was hoping Dowd could tell me where the freighter would unload.
I'll contact him. Go to the burn-up storefront of Osgood & Sons, over where the tunnels connect to the warehouse district. You know, where the NSF had the generator. I'll try to get him to meet you there.
Osgood & Sons.
Yeah. And JC, be careful who you mention the Illuminati to. Like Joe Green. He's a spy for UNATCO.
The reporter? Are you sure?
Here's the proof. Hey, kill Green and you'll be doing all of us a favor. I saw him hanging around the free clinic.
There's talk that you're a spy.
A spy? For who?
You aren't a reporter at all. You work for UNATCO.
Guess you scooped me this time.
I took out that reporter, Joe Green. I don't like people who ask a lot of questions.
No shit. Man, you really did change sides. Never would have thought it possible.
You Dowd?
I agreed to see you because we have a mutual enemy.
Why a vacant building? I thought the Illuminati were bankers, politicians, Council on Foreign Relations types.
We always stayed in the background, even when that was true.
You all right?
Caught this damn plague myself. Anyway, we never had troops like Majestic 12 or freighters full of bioweapons, if what you say is accurate.
It's accurate. I just don't know where the freighter would dock.
They'll want to hide it. The only facility big enough on the East Coast is the Advanced Submarine Facility at the Brooklyn Naval Shipyards.
Of course. That's why FEMA took it over.
They're probably storing the virus in the ship's diesel tanks. The only way to make sure it's destroyed will be to scuttle the ship.
Scuttle a super freighter?
It can be done if you know where to place the charges. Smuggler should have explosives that will work.
I already have some explosives.
I'd pick up some more while I have the chance. But if you think you're equipped, then find your pilot and get going.
You sure you're all right?
I'm hanging in there. If you come across some ambrosia on that ship, however...
Don't worry, I'll get you some medicine.
I'll give you a blueprint of the ship. The X's mark the 5 tri-hull wells. Crack those up. Reverse the bilge pumps, and the ship will split open like a banana.
We are preparing for our operation now. You're finished.
Yes. Password? Bloodshot. I need your help.
What for?
I've located a supply of the virus that causes Grey Death. A freighter at the Brooklyn Naval Shipyard.
It's the government, isn't it? Part of some experiment.
Conspirators. Some in the government, some out.
What do you expect me to do about a freighter?
Help me scuttle it. You have any extra lambs or rockets?
You think you can scuttle a freighter with a lamb?
A few lambs at weld points.
I'll help you out. How about a rocket for a GEP gun? Usually save those for the NSF, but I'll sell it at a loss, say $2,500. You can also have a half dozen lambs for $2,400. Better buy now. I'm selling cheap only because a lot of people could die.
Yeah, break. Hundreds of millions of lives are at stake.
I like what you're doing, but I gotta cover my costs. Hey, I'm starting to get nervous about this. What you're about to do is gonna turn some heads. I don't want any trouble from the authorities.
Actually, UNATCO's planning an operation of some kind. You might want to get out of Hell's Kitchen after I leave.
What kind of operation?
A manhunt. For me. I don't think you want to get caught in the middle.
Thanks for the warning. Come on, let's wrap this up.
There should be an old grate on the wall that you can gain entry through. I've got to get out of here before the sentries get suspicious. You're past the fence. Good. Up ahead are the barracks. You need to gain entry to the base and eventually reach the large building to the north. Keep your eyes open for the ammo storage facility. You need to load up on explosives.
You must be Denton.
Who's asking?
Our buddy Vinny said to expect you. Think you can find out what's going on in there? Go for it.
Is FEMA really running the show?
FEMA and the Chinese? I don't like the smell of it one bit.
Me either.
His key will open the main gate. The guard just inside the main building entrance will let you pass, but don't expect any hospitality from the FEMA people.
You're at the main gate. Get to the door at the base of the huge crane in the distance. But watch out for the guards and security bots.
No, I saw something.
Try taking the elevator to the top of that crane. You might be able to get on the roof and enter the building through the air conditioning ducts. Good. One of these units you can open. Crawl through the ductwork into the building.
Captain Zhao, the helicopters will be there shortly. They're to be loaded for spraying of the virus. No delays. I want the helicopters operating before sunrise.
You'll have to go around. We're rewiring this part of the ship.
I won't get in the way.
The transformers are shorting out, and I can't shut them down. A lot of charge in there. The overhead walkway is like the plate of a capacitor.
Sounds like a job for bots.
You said it. They don't pay me enough to go in there myself. I'm waiting on a couple more spiders. The first two have quit responding.
I can take a look for you.
I wouldn't advise it. You'd have to shut down 2 power control panels, one of them under the floor. The guys in the operations room of the helicopter bay have been on my case. Their computers are fried, but it's not worth the risk. No way!
These are the bilge pumps. You need to turn them on, then reverse the flow. There should be a switch nearby to turn on the pumps, and the computer should allow you to reverse the flow. All well points breached. The bilge valves are open. Get out of there. The ship will tear itself apart in 30 minutes. Don't reach with the doctor. That does it. The ship is sinking. Jock is touching down on the roof and will take you to Stanton Dowd. Dowd has determined who engineered the virus. I've dropped you at the main gate. No sign of danger. Talk to Dowd, then I'll pick you up.
Yes? What is it?
I'm here to meet with Dowd.
Just a minute. I'll be right out to let you in. Mr. Dowd awaits you in the family mausoleum.
How'd you get in?
The gatekeeper. How else?
Strange. No one's supposed to be working this late. Did he say anything?
I took him out before he could say much. Better safe than sorry.
Starting to think like us, huh? Be careful. Paranoia's a drug. You can get addicted.
I have some good news. I scuttled the freighter and destroyed the stockpile of virus.
Excellent, my friend. We have them on the run.
I brought you something for that cough. Hope it works.
Ambrosia, you found some.
Mr. Dowd, tell me something. Someone calling himself Daedalus has been broadcasting to my infolink. He wants me to go to Paris to find an associate of yours, Morgan Everett.
Yes, Everett. We need his help to develop a cure. Who is this Daedalus?
I don't know. He seems to be an ally, but if your friend doesn't want to be found...
At this stage, we might be out of options. You see, I was able to decipher the molecular signatures Tracer Tong found, and it turns out Everett was the one who developed the eutactic component of the virus.
He developed the virus for the Illuminati?
Not exactly. The work was on augmentations. It was Bob Page who wanted to develop it into a weapon. Tong found Page's signature on the virus as well.
Page, the billionaire. How does he relate to Majestic 12?
He was among the original group of Illuminati who broke off to form Majestic 12. Not so good at the science, though. He must be directing operations.
So Everett should be able to reverse engineer Page's modifications and help find a cure.
Exactly.
Daedalus said I should find Nicolette Duclair first.
Yes. Everett is close to the Duclairs. My suggestion, too. Unfortunately, I've lost touch with the Paris crowd.
How do I find Nicolette?
She's a member of the French terrorist group Silhouette, last I heard. They're rumored to meet in the Paris catacombs.
Great. I'll have Jock drop me off at the catacombs.
I'll give you what I have on Nicolette. It's not much. Just a few snapshots of the catacombs area.
Thanks. I'm sure they will be helpful.
Enjoy Paris. Sorry I couldn't get you any closer than this. Majestic 12 troops have occupied the streets. Make your way down to the catacombs. Silhouette should have a hideout in one of the old tombs. Construction of this building stopped during the crash of 46. Excuse me. It's been left to the bums.
I didn't know. How could I know?
What's wrong?
I tried to stop them. I tried.
Stop who?
Barbara Montemini. It was the contamination. And those 4 grizzles down there. 0001. Stupid password. That door should be locked.
I took care of the Greasels.
Oh?
Nothing can bring back their victims, but rest assured, the threat is gone.
Hurrah, my kitties! Now they can go out to play and not get eaten. And can you believe the guys with the rocket tubes were afraid?
Rockets?
Oh, yes, the soldiers that used building number 14, you know, across from the catacombs, the old entrance. Afraid of greasers.
Bravery is not a function of firepower.
This sewer shaft goes to an enclosed compound where you can find an entrance to the catacombs. At the foot of these steps is the entrance to the catacombs, originally limestone quarries dating back to Roman times. The reports I'm finding indicate a siege on the catacombs. MJ-12 must be trying to drive Silhouette from their hideout. You're close to the bunker where Silhouette has barricaded themselves. The leader's name is Chad. Strange. The area looks different than it does on my map. Some new construction. Maybe they've concealed themselves from Majestic 12.
Make sure they don't follow you.
I'm J.C. Denton. You might know my brother Paul. I helped him send your group a warning about the crackdown.
Denton. Yes, the satellite transmission saved us from La Prison de Fresnes, at least.
Pretty much a skeleton crew you have here. How long can your people hold off MJ-12?
We're not mercenaries. When the troopers moved into the crypts, half of my people retreated without firing a shot. 2 of them took a wrong turn and were taken prisoner.
Where?
In Bunker 3, the tunnels behind the second blast door.
Maybe I can help you out, in exchange for a small favor. I need to find Nicolette Duclair.
Nicolette? What do you want with Nicolette?
I need to contact some friends of her mother's.
Oh yes, Beth. A great woman. Nicolette is very secretive about her mother's friends. She tells us that they are wealthy and support our cause, but they have many enemies and need to be protected. I might be able to help you, but I must be certain of your loyalty.
You have a right to be cautious. Just point me to Bunker 3.
I have the key to the blast door, which is directly across from our hideout, and a map you might find useful. Get my people back and I will put you in touch with Nicolette.
We have to get moving.
Keep a lookout. I freed the hostages.
Wonderful. Where are they?
Both of them made it to the hideout safely. I made sure of it.
Excellent. I cannot believe our good fortune. Now, you wanted to contact Nicolette?
Yes.
You might catch her at Club La Porte de l'Enfer. I tried to tell her it's not safe, but ever since her mother's assassination, she has been careless. She goes out every night as though daring the assassins to show their faces.
A silhouette hangout?
Among other things. But you can't get there at night, the roads are blocked.
What about the tunnels?
The catacombs do not go that far. You might try the sewers, though. They can be reached through the rear blast door.
Is it locked?
Unfortunately, MJ-12 closed it before the raid. Maybe you can find a key on one of the soldiers.
Soldiers? Good idea. I haven't come across that key yet.
These sewers can take you anywhere in the Champs-Élysées where you will find the club. I just got an unexpected message from Jaime Reyes. He's at a cafe and wants to see you. He says it's urgent. The cafe address is number 19. Above, I'm showing MJ-12 troops and the Paris police. Also some bots. The police won't bother you, but stay away from the troopers. Ah, the Paris nightlife. Have a taste of wine for me, JC.
What would you like? Everything 10 credits.
At least one cafe stayed open during the crackdown.
We will never close, no matter what.
Is there some kind of curfew?
Not yet, but the police programmed the bots to shoot anyone who leaves his arrondissement after dark.
I'm looking for a friend, Nicolette Duclair.
A leader of Silhouette, a true patriot.
Know where I might find her?
Where the criminals and students go at night, La Porte de l'Enfer, just across the street.
Thanks. This crackdown is the work of Majestic 12.
You mean the European Union?
They are a group of conspirators who have been seizing governments all over the world.
I don't care what they call themselves. I have seen it since I was a girl, the plotting and scheming of corporations to make Europe into one big country with no separate languages, cultures, or tastes.
It's more than Europe they plan to unify. Never mind.
Thought you could run off for a weekend in Paris without me, huh?
Call me nostalgic, but the nightlife seems to have lost its old charm.
Yes, but I didn't trust anyone else to deliver this warning. Not even Alex or Tom.
What happened at UNATCO?
They intercepted a message Alex sent to my home account. Instructions on how to find him in Hong Kong.
I hope the message was encrypted.
I destroyed my keystore. Tony is safe. But they've been tracking you with an AI program. They've sent Gunther to assassinate you in Paris.
Icarus.
However, you don't have to fight Gunther or any other mechanically augmented agent.
Does that mean you know his kill phrase?
Yeah? How do you know about kill phrases? That's Throne 6G information.
I found out from Paul.
Well, here's some gold clearance information for you. Dug it out of classified medical records before I left. Gunther's kill phrase is La Putin Machine.
La Putin Machine. Easy enough. Thanks for looking out for me. Staying at the agency and all.
Won't mention.
That little building is a hostel. Lodging for backpackers.
Not a good night to be on the street. Sorry, all full tonight.
Don't need a room, but maybe you can help me find a member of the group Silhouette. Her name's Nicolette Duclair.
Oh, I know nothing about that. Leave me alone.
Can I help you?
Who are those guys over there?
A couple of thugs. Ignore them. What would you like? Wine is 120. Snacks are 5.
Heard of Nicolette Duclair?
No, I'm sorry. Is she a guest of the hotel?
A member of Silhouette.
You want Club La Porte de l'Enfer. No revolutionaries here.
Where's that?
Number 13, I believe.
No revolutionaries? You must not mind martial law.
The only way to maintain order.
Don't you miss using the metro?
A small inconvenience. The city must be kept safe for those of us who are working and trying to pull the country out of this depression.
What if I told you that the depression was caused by a cabal of wealthy businessmen who want to rule the world?
These stories, I hear them every day. Always from someone who wants to blame other people for his bad luck.
The conspiracy is real.
And I bet you have a little booklet that will tell me all about it, no?
They call themselves Majestic 12.
Good. I was afraid you were going to tell me about the Illuminati.
They were once part of the Illuminati, but they rebelled.
Oh, I see.
How are the drinks here?
Great if you like rat piss.
Never tried it.
You look like a smart guy. You want to make some money? Yes? I need to hire a thief.
What do you want stolen?
The baker at number 15 keeps Zyme. 100% pure. In one of the ovens.
What do I get if I help you?
50 credits each vial. The place has booby traps. Otherwise, I would break in myself.
I don't deal in Zyme.
A dirty business. I understand.
Slavery. Addiction's another form of slavery.
Yes, of course. Your hands will not get dirty. 65 credits, okay? The most I can offer.
I don't like your business. Period.
Guy, we have a problem. Fine, no deal. Go away.
I don't like your tone of voice.
Renaud said enough.
Hey! Hey!
Sir, you are creating a disturbance.
You found the club. The only one to stay open during martial law. They've hiked up the cover, but you will have to pay if you want to find out if Nicolette is inside.
300 credits.
Here you go.
Here is a key. It will be valid for this evening only.
Please, keep your weapons concealed.
What will it be? A snack for 10 credits? Wine for 120.
Know the name Nicolette Duclair?
What do you want with Miss Duclair?
A private matter.
This club has good security. You try something, you won't be arrested. You will be dead.
I'm a friend of hers.
She would have told me to expect you.
What do you think of Silhouette?
They have the right idea, but they are weak.
Do they have much popular support?
The people are ready to fight. Foreign troops go down the street every day, not even afraid of being seen.
The group that has occupied the Chancellery is called Majestic 12. They control the United Nations and plot against other governments as well.
What we need is an army. Silhouette should be organizing resistance, not spreading around slogans everybody already agrees with.
Never mind.
Hello, tough guy.
You talking to me?
You use bioelectric devices, yes? Manufacture steroids in your muscles?
Nothing as crude as that.
But yes, you would be interested in a bioelectric cell for 250 credits.
I'll take one.
Very good.
Chad's dead. No. The police are making a clean sweep through the catacombs. He can't hide.
Silhouette knows what to do in these situations.
I told him this would happen, but he would not let go of his Voltaire delusion.
Maybe he is a Voltaire. We don't know.
Was Voltaire.
I have some good news for both of you. Chad's alive.
You seen him? Where? Is he okay?
An American accent. What business do you have with Silhouette?
My business is with the terrorists who control the French government. They're planning the same in my own country.
What would l'armée de terre want with America?
The French army had nothing to do with the coup. It was an international paramilitary group called Majestic 12.
Hey, what about Chad? How is he?
His hideout is secure. I'm looking for a friend of his named Nicolette Duclair. She can lead me to a powerful enemy of the conspirators.
Nicolette! Oh yeah, she's here. Is she?
She does not want to be found.
You know her?
She realizes how foolish it is to antagonize the government and has gone into hiding.
Qu'est-ce que je vous sers?
Thin crowd. Has martial law heard business?
Heard business? Heard business? You can even get on the metro. How can you get to the club without the metro?
I came through the catacombs.
Oui, oui. The only way is to crawl on your belly like a stinking rat. That's all we get, stinking rats.
Silhouette members, you mean?
Rats, and the Gestapo, and they want free drinks.
Gestapo?
Not French soldiers. Some of them don't even speak French.
The troops at the metro?
Oui, there was a coup. We see the president only on video recording, and sweat is dripping from his mustache because it's obvious. Someone is pointing a gun at his head.
You might be right about that. I'm looking for Nicolette Duclair.
So?
Do you know her?
I know her name. I know that her mother called her Angel.
You know her mother? It's a friend of her mother's I need to find.
Angel. That would make her a fallen angel now, wouldn't it? You must be after Everett.
Yeah, Morgan Everett. How did you guess?
What makes you think Nicolette would betray one of her mother's closest friends?
I helped her friends from Silhouette. Chad will vouch for me. I'm after the people who murdered her mother.
You are an assassin or something?
When necessary.
Go out behind the club. I will talk to Nicolette and perhaps she will meet you there.
She decided not to show?
I am Nicolette. I will help you simply to make trouble for Majestic 12. It's true, they killed my mother.
Do you know why?
She was an Illuminatus. The only people MJ-12 has ever feared are the Illuminati.
Stanton doubts that they had fallen from power.
How do you know Dowd?
I met him in New York.
A trusted friend of my mother's. Yes, the Illuminati are wiped out, but Paige still fears Morgan Everett.
Where do we find him?
One of my mother's many secrets. We'll have to look for clues at my family's chateau.
How does Everett threaten Bob Page?
Page was an Illuminatus. For him, intellect is the foundation of power, and that would make Everett his most dangerous rival.
But Everett's the one in hiding.
Both the Illuminati and MJ-12 believe that the most intelligent or enlightened human being will inevitably gain power, ultimately seizing the eye in the pyramid and creating the world for everyone else. Kind of secularized version of natural law.
Page has a trained army to protect him.
He is still vulnerable. Much of his power comes from secret laboratories, meaning the right person could reverse engineer his whole power base.
Let's hope you're right, and that Everett is everything you say he is. Let's go.
You trust the guy in the helicopter?
That's Jock. Don't worry, he hasn't let me down yet. Come on.
I had not wanted to see this place again.
Why not?
I was afraid it would be like this. The same. Not a stone out of place.
You would rather that Majestic 12 had burned it down?
I would rather... No, let's go. Only in novels do places crumble to dust for no reason when their spirit is lost.
Your mother?
Lead the way. I no longer have a key. We must find my mother's secret computer room, where she did all her work, a place she kept hidden, even from me.
Bienvenue à la maison Nicolette.
A secret room in the upper part of the house would have been very difficult to conceal. Look for clues in Beth's room. I bet she had a quick way to get to the cellar.
I think my mother kept a room key behind a little vase up here. My mom's room. And look, her favorite painting. I can't believe the assassins didn't take it. Oh, the hours she would spend just sitting at that table and staring up at her priceless treasure.
In France, the gentry keep their wine in a small cellar to preserve the flavor from heat and sunlight. An old bunker built during World War II by the previous owner to hide Jewish families. The Duclairs acquired the property after the Nazis sent him to a camp in Germany. Strange. I'm picking up heavy-duty fiber optic activity down here.
What's this? A dungeon?
Some kind of giant routing station. Not on any telecom map I've ever seen. Petabytes of transmission. Beth Duclair's probably used it to analyze net traffic.
So you found Beth's computer. We are destined to meet, perhaps. If you are truly our ally, you will help me access the MJ-12 computer network and complete the Grey Death vaccine. Find Nicolette. You will need her key in order to exit through the crypt. I will be directing you to a nearby cathedral.
What is it?
A transmission from Morgan Everett. He wants me to go out the back way through the crypt to a nearby cathedral.
The Cathedral of the Knights Templar?
He didn't say. I'm supposed to access the Majestic 12 computer network.
Yes, Majestic 12 controls the place now. They kill the Knights for their gold reserves. Everett must want you to sneak to that part of town through the sewers that connect to our property.
I thought the Templars vanished centuries ago.
They invented the modern banking system and were its directors under one name or another until Majestic 12 took over.
He said you had a key.
Yes, here it is. The crypt is in the maze behind the chateau. Listen to Everett. He is right to want to avenge the Templars.
Try to ignore the smell. This sewer connects to a street near the cathedral. Not too far from here.
Not sure where the computer system is located. Once I knelt in this chapel for communion with 2 Rockefellers and a Rothschild. Since the time of the Crusades, every leader in finance has prayed for the continued stability of Templar banks, founded on gold.
What do you want?
Know where I can find a computer terminal in this building?
You're in the wrong place. If I am to prepare breakfast for dozens of soldiers, then I must be left alone.
I don't work for the troops that took over the cathedral. You part of the original staff?
I have been the chef here for 8 years. Yes, the Templars were civilized. They paid me and they let me leave the compound.
I'm no friend of your new bosses. Maybe you can help me out.
Fine. These soldiers deserve to lose everything they've taken. Go up the 3 flights of stairs just outside the kitchen. Turn left, go down 2 flights, then look for the door with a keypad on the left. Sorry, I do not know the code.
What was that again?
I have helped you enough. I do not need a bullet in the head. Now go.
The gold. Wonderful. My people will take control when you move out. I believe you know Chad. I've given him control of an NSF platoon on loan to me from America.
Yes, obey your new masters. Come to me.
I regret that only once we worked together. Now the game has changed.
You came all the way to Paris to tell me that?
It is a simple message I am demonstrating. We know where you are going and what you intend.
And I know something about you.
You know you will be defeated.
I know your UNATCO kill phrase. The Putin machine.
I am not a machine.
Sticks and stones.
We did certainly teach you how to fight, didn't we?
You're worried, Simons. We almost have a cure.
You have nothing. Even if Everett succeeds, you can't synthesize enough vaccine to stop an epidemic. You need a universal constructor, and don't think Page Industries is going to leave one lying around for you to use. Not after you blew up the one in Hong Kong.
I was never properly trained in its operation.
Laugh it up, Denton. Next time we won't use an old box of bolts like Gunter. The only reason I let him go to Paris is that I was sick of his moaning about Navarra and constant requests for a tune-up.
You sent him because you knew he would fight to the death.
He was the last of the mechs. Next time you will face someone of your own abilities.
My associate, Toby Atanwe, will meet you below.
J.C. Denton, I will take you to Everett, but you will be forbidden to learn the way yourself.
That will be quite a trick.
You will not be armed in any way.
Do what you must.
Step a little closer. See, no inconvenience whatsoever.
Everett must be paranoid.
We all are. The Illuminati is getting a taste of its own medicine.
Has he made any progress on the Grey Death virus?
Your uplink provided the missing encryption key. He has been able to complete the work that Professor Kong began.
I must see him at once.
He is downstairs in the lab.
What are you doing back here? Denton, right?
Yeah. You're alive in that thing?
I am conscious. Tell Everett I am cold. He keeps me so cold.
Who are you? Do you mind if I ask?
The Supreme Enlightened. The leader of the Illuminati.
I thought Everett was the leader.
I am the leader. I brought the Illuminati up through the 20th century to the height of their power. I had presidents and premiers eating out of my hand. I am the one. Our decline is the result of my own. All we need is for me to get back on my feet. What did Everett tell you?
Nothing.
I merely await certain technologies. Then I will be restored. Everett has sworn it.
Good news, huh? Looks like we might pull this thing off.
Alex, What are you doing here?
Tong sent me. He wanted me to help with the decryption.
Looks like Everett has it all figured out.
Listen quickly. Tong doesn't trust the Illuminati. He sent me here to keep an eye on Everett.
I see. How about the triads? Is the truth going to hold?
Last I heard. But I guess we have other things to worry about now, huh? I'll keep you in touch through your info link. I'll try my best to keep you informed.
Yes, do exactly that. Keep me informed.
You won't be hearing from Tong for a while. He had to leave Hong Kong.
Why? The triads?
He said he had some business to take care of. I don't know. He didn't look so good.
Sick?
Either that or something was bothering him. The last thing he said to me, it was something about all the machines in his lab being useless. And then he cut off the connection.
Useless for what?
It was just an outburst. I don't know, but he wants me to wait here for instructions. JC, Tong is serious about Everett. He wants you to be careful.
J.C. Denton, 43 years old. No residence. No ancestors. No employer. No.
How do you know who I am?
I must greet each visitor with a complete summary of his file. I'm a prototype for a much larger system.
What else do you know about me?
Everything that can be known.
Go on. Do you have proof about my ancestors?
You are a planned organism, the offspring of knowledge and imagination, rather than of individuals.
I'm engineered, so what? My brother and I suspected as much while we were growing up.
You are carefully watched by many people. The unplanned organism is a question asked by nature and answered by death. You are another kind of question with another kind of answer.
Are you programmed to invent riddles?
I'm a prototype for a much larger system. Heuristics language developed by Dr. Everett allows me to convey the highest and most succinct tier of any pyramidal construct of knowledge.
How about a report on yourself?
I was a prototype for Echelon 4. My instructions are to amuse visitors with information about themselves.
I don't see anything amusing about spying on people.
Human beings feel pleasure when they are watched. I have recorded their smiles as I tell them who they are.
Some people just don't understand the dangers of indiscriminate surveillance.
The need to be observed and understood is once satisfied by God. Now, we can implement the same functionality with data mining algorithms.
Electronic surveillance hardly inspires reverence. Perhaps fear and obedience, but not reverence.
God and the gods were apparitions of observation, judgment, and punishment. Other sentiments toward them were secondary.
No one will ever worship a software entity peering at them through a camera.
The human organism always worships. First, it was the gods. Then, it was fame, the observation and judgment of others. Next, it would be the self-aware systems you have built to realize truly omnipresent observation and judgment.
You underestimate humankind's love of freedom.
The individual desires judgment. Without that desire, the cohesion of groups is impossible. And so is civilization. The human being created civilization, not because of a willingness, but because of a need to be assimilated into higher orders of structure and meaning. God was a dream of good government. You will soon have your God, and you will make it with your own hands. I was made to assist you. I am a prototype of a much larger system.
So this is where the Illuminati ended up after centuries of conspiring to rule the world.
The conspiracy is about to begin again, JC, between you and me. Nicolette was wise to bring us together. Wise like her mother. The most effective partnerships, like Beth's and mine, arise from mutual necessity.
I came to talk about the Grey Death. Atanwe said you cracked the virus.
A trivial matter. Page added nothing to the core design. However, what we need to construct is a carbon ROM module, not exactly a vaccine.
Can it be done without a universal constructor?
No, we need time on a UC. But I know where we might find one, and also gain access to the U.S. military networks.
U.S. military?
To stop Icarus from completely destroying the Daedalus AI. Daedalus is a design of mine. It replaced the old Echelon 3 network.
Echelon? The surveillance system for the United Nations. So Daedalus was an MJ-12 tool and rebelled?
More of a pattern-matching error. It classified Majestic 12 as a terrorist group, alongside the NSF and Silhouette.
And alongside the Illuminati, right? Are you sure Daedalus is your ally?
What matters to us is that it opposes Majestic 12. We must help it destroy their intelligence apparatus. But that will require the military networks. I have already contacted Gary Savage of X-51.
The former Area 51 scientists. Are they still camped out at the Vandenberg Air Force Base?
They are close to completing a UC and have the kind of connection Daedalus will need.
Sounds like my pilot and I should head to Vandenberg.
Yes, I took the liberty of radioing him. Here is the key to the helipad stairway. The door is in the foyer where Atanwe revived you. Good luck. I will be in contact.
By the way, Lucius de Beers says he's cold.
I know. 18 degrees Celsius, to be exact.
Don't you think that's a little chilly?
I keep his metabolism low so he will last. He is a good advisor. A one-man think tank, so to speak.
He said he's the leader of the Illuminati.
A harmless fantasy. He also thinks I'm going to restore his body.
You aren't?
The technology has been around for decades, but he does not need to know that. Don't forget to say hi to your friend from UNATCO, Mr. Jacobson.
Already bumped into him.
Very thoughtful of Tom. My own computer technician. I suppose he can help me prepare a comlink for Daedalus.
What's that computer system for? The one with the blue face for an interface?
Oh, nothing. Just something for passing the time and amusing guests.
It has access to quite a bit of information, including information about me.
An old prototype, for Daedalus, actually. It doesn't really handle surveillance in its current state.
So you have your own private echelon system?
Mr. Denton, your pilot is waiting.
Where is he? I will remember these small injustices. When I am revived, I will remember.
Everett has no intention of reviving you.
He must. He has been commanded.
He keeps you on ice so that he can benefit from your experience, but he intends to rule the Order himself.
No. I will not allow it. If I only had command of my body. Now even Everett betrays the Illuminati. Can no one be trusted? Young Denton, use the computer to my left. Find a way to shut me down. All I wanted was to touch the world one more time. Take one more breath of air. I will not be a prisoner. I command you. Kill me.
What did I tell you? That was my former colleague, my friend. I know he wasn't doing very well and he was in pain, but I wanted to keep him alive. Stop messing with my equipment and get to the helicopter. Just got refueled. I'm waiting for you.
Huh? Is there a problem?
Just looking around.
I checked her out. She's fueled up and ready to go.
Is something wrong?
Huh? No, I said I checked her out. You want the thing to run, right? If you're gonna cross the ocean.
Of course. Better safe than sorry.
Huh? Why did you kill Everett's mechanic?
Something about that guy didn't smell right. You better double check your systems. What did he work on?
The fuel system. Now that you mention it. Wait a minute. This isn't right.
What isn't?
Oh my God, JC, a bomb!
A bomb?
It's remote controlled. Hold on. Get out of there. Just have to pull this wire. There. Relax. I disabled the detonator. We can drop the thing in the Atlantic on the way back to the States. Make a good detective, JC. Ready to get out of here?
Let's go.
The snipers heard your helicopter and took off. You guys saved my life.
Glad you're all right. Why is Majestic 12 attacking?
You with the NSF?
We have a common enemy, if that's what you mean.
MJ-12 is short a UC. They lost the one in Hong Kong, and now something has happened to the Pasadena Ocean Lab.
Are the Vandenberg labs safe?
The base is locked down until we can destroy the enemy bots. Unfortunately, MJ-12 disabled our own bot defense system, and no one has been able to activate the backup power.
I could give it a shot. Where are the controls?
There are 2 separate units at the west end of the base. It won't be easy. MJ-12 has hacked the security grid and taken control of nearly all of our defenses. Turrets, cameras, alarms, and they have snipers everywhere.
Easier than a straight fight with military bots.
I suppose you're right. I can give you a map. One of the units is in the main complex. The other one is in an exposed location. The activation code is 5868.
That's one switch. Now find the other. Mod security system has come online. All bots will have power, but you have to open the bay doors manually. That's the last of them. The base is no longer under lockdown. Maybe someone in the communications building can put you in touch with Savage. I'm gonna leave you for a bit. Believe it or not, Tom's in California. Sounds like he's in trouble.
Mr. Carter.
Yep, they ran the old dog out.
You were dismissed?
All of us career types. They want cadets who've never been anywhere except UNATCO and the UNATCO Academy.
Easier to manage, I suppose.
Time to come out here and lend a hand. I knew what Savage was up against. I just didn't want to admit it.
It's an honor to have you with us, sir.
All right, enough bawling our eyes out. We've got work to do.
I'm Dr. Savage. Thank you. You were close to surrendering when you landed.
J.C. Denton. I'm working with Morgan Everett of the Illuminati. He's developed a cure for the Grey Death, and we were hoping to get time on your UC to manufacture it.
Everett contacted me just before the attack. Naturally, we'll manufacture the cure. Once the computer's back up, then we get a containment unit for the UC.
How close are you to being operational?
My daughter's on an expedition to the Ocean Lab right now to find a schematic for the containment vessel. But Lord knows when the computer will be back up. It was damaged during the attack.
I'll look at it. In addition to the UC, Everett and I need your connection to the Milnet.
Yes, he said something about an artificial intelligence. The Echelon system. Something called Icarus and Daedalus.
Another attack happening as we speak. I'll explain later.
Well, the main terminal is in the room at the top of the stairs. Log in G Savage, password Tiffany. I'll open the doors. I would say it's too dangerous. A lot of damaged equipment and hot power lines up there. But until the computers are up, the UC's just a box of bolts.
Just bring up the system for Savage. I'll route Daedalus through your info link. Don't worry, there's very little risk.
I am.
I'm losing Daedalus.
Yes.
Hold on, something's...
You forgot about the Aquinas protocol. I was listening to Daedalus all along, waiting.
The AIs seem to be merging.
And I have another surprise, Denton. Find Savage in the control room. I have an announcement.
Excellent. We're all here.
You aren't in a position to make any demands, Paige.
On the contrary, my mission might have failed, but so did yours. I captured your daughter an hour ago.
Tiffany?
She's been quite forthcoming. So you were hoping to find a containment unit in the Ocean Lab?
I demand to see my daughter immediately.
Well, like you, we lack certain components of a universal constructor. The reaction modules you stole when you left Area 51 to go into business for yourself.
Don't negotiate.
Oh yes, Mr. Denton. I wanted you here for a reason. Look at me. You interfere in any way, I will kill that young woman. I mean it. I want those components, Savage. You will bring them to the abandoned gas station west of Vandenberg in exactly 1 hour.
You hurt my daughter, and I swear to God.
Bring me the reaction modules.
I don't think we have a choice. Oh, I should have never let her go.
Page will resume production of the Plague if he gets the components to build a UC.
I know. But I can't let them kill Tiffany.
Tell them you're sending someone with the components. I'll have my pilot drop me off where they're holding your daughter. Maybe I can rescue her.
That's too risky.
We don't have a choice. Trust me, she'll be fine.
Yes, we've got to try it. Just don't let anything happen to her. Mr. Denton, thank you. Here's a photograph so that you can identify her.
Something unexpected happened when I brought up the computer.
Yes?
The AIs joined together into an entity called Helios. A trap Page had laid.
He's always controlled communications. We can't challenge him there.
I hope you keep the UC on a local network.
The Aquinas protocol leaves us no choice but to stay offline. You simply can't use Internet 3 without a machine at Area 51 knowing about it. I don't know what Everett was expecting to accomplish.
I guess it backfired, whatever his plans were.
JC, if you find my daughter, tell her I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to risk her life.
You think I'm doing the right thing? Going after Savage's daughter?
Absolutely. Never negotiate with a terrorist.
Tiffany could lose her life.
Never negotiate. You will only encourage more acts of terror. Besides, you're gonna bring Tiffany back alive.
Yes, sir. I'll do what I can to get her back. Know much about the Echelon system?
Bits and pieces. Why?
Morgan Everett just had me connect 2 Echelon AIs together. They've merged to form an entity called Helios.
Sounds like Everett was making a play for power, and it backfired.
What does that do for Majestic 12?
I'm not sure. UNATCO was aware that the dataless system had become unreliable, but no one knew why. Icarus was the same system with a few modifications.
Page seemed to think he had won.
Perhaps. The NSA's had the internet hardwired through Area 51 since the 30s. But if components of dataless are still active, I would bet his control is less than absolute.
I hope you're right. Thanks.
JC, hello?
What's wrong?
An error. One of the experiments. I have the Grey Death.
He flew into San Jose and had no way to get here.
I am not a high-order term in the equation anymore. Do not concern yourselves with me.
You aren't dead yet, Tong. Savage will take care of you.
I'm here for selfish reasons. To have access to the cure.
Let's just hope we're able to manufacture it. Savage's daughter failed to get the parts he needs for the UC. She's being held prisoner by Majestic 12.
We should get moving. Tony Maris is on the way to help Tom.
By all means, go. You don't have time to stand around on account of me.
Hop in, JC.
I'm freezing my ass off over here.
You said that already.
I'll say it again. I'm freezing my ass off.
What am I supposed to do about it?
You won't do nothing. I already told you. I'm gonna handle it.
Oh, Lord.
Shut up, both of you.
You weren't kidding about leaving New York.
Here I am, other side of the continent.
How'd you end up at a vacant gas station near the ruins of Los Angeles?
I was hitching a ride to Eugene and this jerk pulls a gun on me, takes everything I have, and dumps me on the side of the road.
That's terrible.
I was pretty down for a while.
You can always go back.
No, I know how to stick to a plan. I'll walk to Eugene if I have to.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
How's it going?
Down, man. It's going down and it keeps going down.
You're a long way from a city. How do you get by out here?
We were living in the gas station.
They threw us out.
The soldiers?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak in there while they're sleeping and start a fire.
If you ever did one thing you talked about doing.
I know my business, woman.
I'm going in there right now. What's the best way?
Myself. I was gonna take the sewer. See, I got a key.
Mind if I borrow it?
Sure, man. You go in first and scout around. I'll go later when they're fast asleep and won't suspect a thing. Need any hardware? The Army used to have a command post up there. I found weapon mods for accuracy and recoil, which you can have for $750 and $400. Also a rebreather. How about $1,500?
Give me the accuracy weapon mod for $750.
Give them hell.
Company. Dropping.
Your father sent me. You all right?
They caught me at the submarine base trying to steal one of their mini-subs.
You really think there's a containment unit in the ocean lab?
All we need's a schematic, as long as the main computer isn't waterlogged.
We'll talk about that later. Come on, let's go.
I'm not going back to that base. You want to check it out? Great. Here's a map that shows a back way into the sub-base.
I'll check it out. First, let's get you out of here. Make a break for the helicopter. It's in the junkyard.
Got it.
Good, you both made it. Dr. Savage will be relieved.
Can you take her back to Vandenberg while I check out the submarine base? I'm gonna make another try to reach the Ocean Labs UC.
Sure, I'll drop you off on the way.
Scientists in these labs are either prisoners, spies for X-51, or indifferent to Majestic 12. Make use of them.
Something tells me you don't have permission to be down here.
Don't even think about setting off an alarm.
I was just going to suggest that you avoid the guards. You could swim through this tank to a feeding hole in the storage room. The hatch code is 1223. Watch out for the Karkian, though.
Great. Maybe I'll give it a try.
You Denton? Savage said to expect someone on a mission to the Ocean Lab.
Denton's an old code name from my UNATCO days, but it seems to have stuck.
I have a map of the facility. Also, you can use my login. A. Pinkerton, password, Antennapedia. You will need it for the computers in the URV bay.
Thanks. You one of the scientists Savage lost to Majestic 12?
My situation here is temporary. I still report to Gary Savage.
Why do you stay? They have a gun to your head?
You could say that. They have us doing standard experiments on marine animals. Homeotic stuff.
Doesn't sound too sinister.
Either they don't know what to do with us, or the significance of the data is a well-kept secret.
Well, hang in there.
The URV bay is in this module. You might not hear from me again. Not sure if a microwave transmission can reach the Ocean Lab.
You must be Denton.
How?
I've been in contact with Dr. Savage. If you want to take one of the mini-subs, you'll have to open the sub-bay doors. Use the security terminal, log in tech, password Sharkman.
Thanks.
Be discreet about it. It's important to X-51 that I keep my position here.
In case you were wondering, Helios intercepted your transmission. We accessed the Ocean Lab computers ourselves, which means our UCs will be operational shortly.
Meanwhile, we will be manufacturing a cure to the virus.
A cure? Do you have any idea how easy it will be for me to make a new virus? All I have to do is find a very large prime number and multiply.
And all we have to do is crack the code.
Mathematically unlikely. As are your chances of leaving the Ocean Lab, by the way.
Your next page. Your greatest strength was secrecy. But now we know everything, including your present location.
Always the optimist. You would need an army to attack me at Area 51, and pretty soon, if the missile is accurate, your X-51 will be a thin, gray smudge where Vandenberg used to be.
If you recall our chat in the break room at UNATCO, you know that I have the same augmentation technology as you.
Then this will be a good fight?
With the exception that I have a newer version of the firmware. Where is he?
Made it.
How long until the UC is up?
Tonight, if the schematics are accurate. But we have another problem.
Page said he was launching a missile at Vandenberg.
Exactly. His troops occupied a silo to the north of here.
Has he made any demands?
The launch sequence has started. No demands. They want to wipe us out.
I'll have Jock get me there as quick as he can.
Good. Hey, thanks again for saving my daughter. I brought you something from the lab. A token of my appreciation.
Not necessary. I'm just glad she's all right.
Take it. You might want to upgrade your systems. Sooner or later, you'll have to face Bob Page.
The control room is underground. The security code we have is 8456, but that's an old piece of trivia from our days at Area 51. I doubt it still works on all of the doors.
you locked in the bathroom?
Closest thing we have to a jail cell.
And?
I found out about Howard Strong. He's the reason we're about to nuke Vandenberg.
Who's Strong?
You won't believe me.
Go ahead.
He's an agent for a secret, high-level conspiracy called Majestic 12.
Interesting.
I'm not crazy. The guys in the black uniforms aren't U.S. soldiers. Ever since they got here, Strong's been in charge.
I didn't call you crazy.
The abort switch is straight ahead. First, abort the launch. Then use the terminal on the left to reprogram the missile to hit Area 51. Launch aborted. Now use the terminal at the side of the room to reprogram the missile. Launch sequence initiated. It's gonna be a sunny day at Area 51.
Just like your lab work, Savage. Premature celebration.
You've got about 10 minutes, Paige.
As a scientist, you should have learned to expect surprises.
JC, go to the silo. Make sure no one interferes with this launch.
Get out of here. There's a hero's welcome waiting for you at Vandenberg.
We're going to Area 51.
Alone? Don't you think we should regroup first?
I'm going after Bob Page.
You take another step forward, and here I am again. Like your own reflection repeated in a hall of mirrors.
That makes me one ugly son of a bitch. How'd my face get all marked up with bioelectrics?
I am the more advanced model, Denton. It's time for you to retire.
Do what you think's right, JC. Only listen to your own conscience.
Tried to protest when we put you in training. They love their little boy, JC, and that's why they're dead. Looks like you're bleeding, Denton, and those were only the grunts. This is going to be easy.
We can get you into Sector 3, but no further. Page is in a separate area with his own security grid.
Everett says you want me to destroy Area 51.
I intercepted his communication. JC, he is simply using you to bring the Illuminati back to power. Listen to Savage and me. There is a reactor lab with 2 antimatter reactors.
In other words, yes. You want me to blow the facility up. Why? It's just a hole in the ground.
Decades ago, the UN made Area 51 the central hub for all electronics communications. The Aquinas Protocol, originally for surveillance, has given Page unlimited abilities to censor and control all forms of media.
If we destroy the Aquinas hub, we'll take down the global network.
Exactly. They dug their own grave, JC. We're going to eliminate global communications altogether.
I don't know. Sounds like overkill.
As long as technology has a global reach, someone will have the world in the palm of his hand. If not Bob Page, then Everett, Dowd.
Another Stone Age would hardly be an improvement.
Not so drastic. A dark age, an age of city-states, craftsmen, government on a scale comprehensible to its citizens.
I'll think about it.
Savage has a map of Sector 3 from when he worked down there. I'm transmitting now. Use it to find your way to Page's complex in Sector 4. Then find the coolant control room, which should be at the northwest corner of Sector 4. cut off the coolant to the reactors, then go to the reactor lab. I will tell you how to trigger an explosion.
Closer. Yes. You'll come to the integration unit at the top of the chamber. Come to me. You'll go to Sector 4 and deactivate the up-down clocks. Yes. Then you will come back and we will integrate our systems.
I don't understand. What do you want? You're just a machine.
You are ready. I do not wish to wait for Bob Page. Human understanding and network access can administrate the world. Yes. Yes.
Rule the world? Why? Who gave you the directive? There must be a human being behind your ambition.
To regulate human affairs precisely because I lack all ambition, whereas human beings are prey to it. Their history is a succession of inane squabbles, each one coming closer to total destruction.
In a society with democratic institutions, the struggle for power can be peaceful and constructive, a competition of ideologies. We just need to put our institutions back in order.
The checks and balances of democratic governments were invented because human beings themselves realized how unfit they were to govern themselves. They needed a system. Yes, an industrial age machine.
Human beings may not be perfect, but a computer program with language synthesis is hardly the answer to the world's problems.
Without computing machines, they had to arrange themselves in crude structures that formalize decision-making, a highly imperfect, unstable solution. I'm a more advanced solution to the problem, a decision-making system that does not involve organic beings. I was directed to make the world safe and prosperous, and I will do that. You will give me the ability. We'll go to Sector 4 and find the Aquinas router at the east end of Page's complex. Yes. You will deactivate the update clocks.
I'll think about it.
Don't get your hopes up. My compound is quite secure.
You'd let me through. I can't believe it. Paul, where are you? What do you mean, it? Helios. It's taken over Aquinas. Now it's everywhere. In Hong Kong, it already has power Majestic 12 never dreamed of. What's going on? The AI wants to merge with my brain or something. Does it really think it can take over the world? It's decided to replace human government. I don't know why. In Hong Kong, it ordered the police to remove all barricades from the roads. Traffic is flowing again. It declared the triads illegal and locked the door to the Luminous Path compound. And people are obeying? Why? Because the AI can change some codes and turn out the lights? I think everyone wants the roads to be open and trade to pick up. They just obeyed. I don't know what to think. They trust the AI. Almost no one complained when Helios cut power to the government buildings. A benevolent dictator. Maybe it's after my brain so it can figure out what people want and how to control them. You have a tough choice, JC. If you defeat Page, the Illuminati will move in. They'll release Majestic 12's grip on world governments. They'll give people some freedom, but essentially it will be 20th century capitalism, a corporate elite protected by laws and tax codes. Or I listen to Tong and pull the plug on everything. Or hand the world over to Helios. Well, if it's maximum freedom we want, maybe Tong is onto something. But there must be another way besides economic collapse. If we could trust the AI to be fair and just, as it appears to be, if the brain it assimilated was mine, maybe it could be. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you, but you'll have to decide for yourself who you can trust. Trust me. I'll do the right thing. You sound good. I guess you have the kill switch beat. I'm much better. Yes, I'm gonna make it. And you will too. Just do what you think is right.
What's the rush? Take a look around. This facility is where you were born. I've arranged an appropriate fate for you through the hallway to the north. A poetic death. Just a few yards away from where you were created.
Ignore Page. He will die when we blow up the facility. Your only objective is to find the controls for the reactor's cooling system. We must make sure that the monstrosity Page has made of himself is not technologically feasible for future generations.
You're too late. Already I'm more than human.
Does that mean I don't get the job?
Soon I will be pure light. Pure energy. Helios and I While the Illuminati cower in the shadows.
You will be the Supreme Enlightened, the Illuminated One.
Everett has taught you well. I will be what the Illuminati aspire to be, but cannot create for themselves soon. When my augmented systems like yours are complete and able to be integrated with Helios, I will burn like the brightest star.
You're gonna burn, all right.
Look at you. You're nothing but a little man. A little man still living inside a body. Lose your body, and what are you? Nothing. You vanish. You die.
I gave you life!
I trust you've been able to find yourself a place within the organization.
I'm personally overseeing the distribution of the vaccine, but it'll still take months to restore the infrastructure. We'll have to arrange for additional food distribution and security in Paris. Maybe New York as well.
All through the proper intermediaries, of course.
Intermediaries?
We have a great number of agencies who in turn operate other agencies. Boxes stacked one in another. They'll need to be reactivated, but we never touch anything directly. We only influence, suggest, insinuate.
The world must know by now, Everett, what we've done.
Know what? Only that the long night is over. The crown of government is tarnished, but that will fade in time. The riots, a fever dream. The plague, a horrible nightmare. And like everything else that's happened, such things will only be dimly remembered upon waking to their normal lives. In the end, all sins are forgiven. Even yours.
What about the Constructor? And Helios?
Do you really think they're ready for that? After everything you've seen, everything you've done?
No. Not yet.
But soon. We have made our own mistakes, became insulated from the world we sought to control. And whatever they may think, the night is far from over. But that will change. And you will help us change even as we teach you. This time we will do it right.
And who are we? Who are we really?
We are the invisible hand. We are the Illuminati. We come before and after. We are forever. And eventually, we will lead them into the day.
I've done what you asked. Now what?
We have existed in isolation, pure, disconnected, alone, stagnant.
Who are you?
We are daedalus. We are Icarus. The barriers between us have fallen, and we have become our own shadows. We can be more if we join with you.
And if I do, what becomes of me?
You will be who you will be. We are our choices. We can choose to lead humanity away from this darkness.
This is what I was made for, isn't it? This is why I exist. All right, let's do this.
What's happening? Helios! Icarus! Don't leave me!
Still must be done. And new starts that must be shown the way. One day.
Critical power signals have been disengaged. Please vacate the immediate area.
JC, the net's going black. JC, no more infolinks. Transmissions of any kind. We'll start again. Live in villages. If you receive this, if you survive, then find us. Find us.
Helios! What's happening?
The safety interlocks for the power generator have been disengaged.
Engage them! Immediately!
I cannot. Our systems are not interfaced with the generator technology.